instructions in there when we do the live, for the best.
Yeah.
The best chat experience anyway.
Yeah.
To go there. So we're live now. I got actually while I'm thinking about this, I'll run this by you. Two things. So first off, I got an email right from one of the managers up at a local event space and restaurant near me.
Yeah.
And I think they're looking to switch out their trivia service. And she's like, yeah, we're just curious about what like a fall winter like schedule would look like. How would you be if we did that? Bumping this to like either a Saturday daytime or afternoon or like a Monday or even a Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's fine.
When I like, because that it all depends on like when I've got,
especially in the winter, dude, when we're not fishing. Like who gives
that
a shit?
wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to find out when she wants to start, and then I'm also like, I'm gonna make it worth it for me. Yeah. But if we can do this, if this works out, this is going to help me bridge my gap to be able to not worry about like Columbus and all these other trips and shit like that. That'll help out.
Speaking of trips, I was talking to Taylor. He was asking if you ended up reaching out to that Drake dude.
I haven't yet. I got to talk with him. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to talk with him.
I told him I wasn't sure. I was like, I told him, I was like, as far as I know, Bobby's in. I was like, I'll confirm.
But, here's Zach. What up, my man?
What's happening? Can you guys hear me all right?
Oh, I can hear you, yeah.
Cool.
You sound good.
I can't hear him.
No?
You can't hear him?
I'm just kidding.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Oh, no. The bandana's crooked. Stop everything.
We got a good show. The other thing, Joe, is this. So next week is going to be absolute insanity.
Okay.
Next Sunday evening, I have my second Metallica show. So I'm thinking we either record. I have an event that I'm working on Saturday night. So I could do Saturday morning. I could do Sunday morning. I could do Friday. I'll be at the show, or I could do Monday morning.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, it's
then,
pretty hectic for me too.
It is, yeah. What lines up better for you?
So Saturday, I have attorney.
Okay, you've got a derb on Saturday. Okay.
Sunday, I may be going to Candlewood.
Okay, all right.
With Kevin. But I think I have Monday off. If not, I'll just take it off, and then we can do it Monday morning.
Yeah, then let's just plan for Monday morning. Okay. Then it'll be nice and easy. I'll do what I can to get as much like good stuff, in advance. Yeah. Any additional segments or anything like that, I'll try to put that together. And then the following weekend is even crazier.
Okay.
Although I will be home, actually, now that I think about it, I will be home for that Sunday evening.
Okay.
So the following weekend is Kayak Adventure Series at the Susquehanna.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
That's what it is. So I talked with Drew. I got to go over a couple of details there. One of two things is going to happen. That is the last Friday that my Friday account is on vacation. Yeah. So I can leave Friday morning. I can leave first thing Friday morning. My plan is to either go to. I'm not going to even take the kayak. I'm going to take the Lund. Because I have to bring so much like camping stuff and all the stuff for trivia. He was like, "Oh, is it? We're thinking that you guys might do a live show recording at on Friday morning at like the opening sort of like the opening ceremonies." And I'm like, I mean, I go with you not being there. I'm like, it's not going to be the same. I was like, and then that means now I have to leave Thursday overnight, in order to do it because I can't miss that trivia event.
Yeah.
So we haven't even squared away lodging or anything. He's like, talk to me, figure out like who's going or what you got to do. So one of two things is going to end up happening. I'm going to end up going down there on Friday with the boat, splash the boat somewhere, do some fishing, camp, do all the, social stuff that comes along with the Kayak Adventure Series and all that. And then Saturday, same thing, go splash the boat, do whatever, and then go for the ceremonies at the end. And that's where I'll be doing trivia. Okay. Or I'm just going to go down Saturday morning. Just drive down Saturday morning, host trivia, and then turn around.
How far a drive is it?
I got to find out exactly where I'm guessing it's about 6 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean,
I have a question real quick.
And Zach, that's what I was going to ask you next. Are you going?
Probably not. Unfortunately, the turbine rotor is arriving here within the next few days, and that means it's balls to the wall until it's done. And unfortunately, that's going to land right there. But the question I had was for, I guess, Joe and maybe the Jigheads. But does anybody remember at the car wash? You know the song, and everybody's got a picture in their head of the girls in the bikinis and splashing the cars and the suds. Whenever Bobby says splash the boat, is that what you guys are picturing? Like Bobby in the bikini and splashing the boat?
Dental floss bikini, yeah.
Or like the Borat bathing suit.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
So yes, unfortunately, no, I don't think we are going to make it, which really sucks because it's here in PA.
I'm trying to think. I know I'll be able to connect with somebody going down there, but I'm thinking it's very possible.
At best, I might be able to come up for like a day, like drive up in the morning and drive home
that day.
Yeah.
Fucking A, nice. Well, let me know. Because I mean, Saturday I will be there for sure. I don't know about Sunday. My thought was I ran it by Delirious because we considered doing the team tournament, and it's just my kayak. After trying to slip it in X amount of rivers this year, I'm like, this is not a good idea. This is going to be very frustrating.
It's got like cobwebs and shit on it, doesn't it? No,
the kayak's fine. It's just it's not ideal for what we're doing. Fucking Binya. Yeah, I'll figure something out. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely be down there on Saturday. We'll go ahead and fire up this show. Zach, to get you up to speed, Joe has an awesome Just the Tip that I would have never even considered, and like first-hand experience with it. So this is gonna be really good.
Joe's got an awesome tip. Cool.
He does. He's got a great tip, that motherfucker. What else is we got? Multiple FTGs. John Hagen's called in with a double, and then you're going to do yours live, right?
Yes.
Perfect. And let's see. Do we have any gear that we want to review? Anything that we want to talk about for gear of the week?
I mean, I got something for people.
had a feeling that you would probably have something for people.
And, yeah, I got something.
From what? From one of the recent boxes?
No, not at all.
Oh, nice. We're going rogue. I like that.
It's a piece of equipment that I will not get in my kayak, and when I had a canoe, I will not get in my canoe without.
Gotcha. I think I know where
by
this
the
is
way,
going.
Those new T-shirts are awesome. I've already worn mine twice.
Dude, aren't they like 1,000 times better than the other T-shirt? The blank is so much better, and they don't shrink up.
Yep. I actually wore it yesterday. If I knew you were coming on, I would have waited and worn it today.
Freaking love them. I didn't wear mine today because I was like, man, maybe Joe's going to wear his.
I know, and it gets really awkward when it's matchy like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It does.
Unless you plan it. I mean, if you plan it and that's how you're going to go, then
yeah, that's a really good point, Zach. Nice. All right, let's record some fucking podcast magic. We got Jigheads in here, a whole bunch of buzz going on. We got lots of shit to talk about. All right, I'm going to mute you guys for a quick second and get this music ready and go ahead and record this sumbitch. There we go. We are rolling. And in 3, 2, damn, that's crisp. Alrighty, guys, Jigs and friggin' Bigs. We got one hell of an episode for you this week, guys. We got Joe has taken the boat, and already he is pushing the boundaries, I think, of what all of us that know what he's rocking for a rig now are comfortable with, and we've got video proof of it. Not only that, we got an amazing Just the Tip this week, which is something that I would have. This is a tip that I never would have crossed my path or my brain for any idea, but this is pretty amazing stuff, and I'm curious to see what some of our jig heads may have for feedback and what the listeners afterwards have for feedback about it as well. We got not just one but two FTGs from absolute staple homies in the FTG segment this week, and we're guest hosted this week by none other than the one and only Metal Jones. Zach from Dark Horse Tackle is joining us. I just got back from Champlain. It's been a wild week. It's been a drug-fueled week. We're going to be talking about that in a bit, too. Do not go too far, guys. We got more jigs and bigs goodness coming up for you right after this right here. Going through the chat right here, and I don't know exactly what this is about, but we got Dan Griffin chimes in, and he says over here, he goes, he's a grower, not a shower. Okay, I mean, I'm going to take that for what it's worth. I have a couple of ideas who he knows. I mean, let's be honest here. Who does Dan have the most history with on the show? You know,
because I'm neither a grower or a shower.
That's what I'm saying.
We know.
I'm a glower.
Oh, my goodness. Michael Bradley says, I was not expecting the color green for Joe's boat, but that thing looks sweet. I was 100% expecting that color green. I was like, what are the
like
odds
Air Force
green boat?
Yeah, it's literally like the same green, almost the same green as my Skeeter. Like Bobby said, it's a little bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's like, a lot of people were like, I'd never seen the Skeeter in that color, and somehow you found another boat that color.
Hey, is it like matte, dude? Like it doesn't look like super shiny. It looks like
this one has no flake in it. My Skeeter had a little bit. It was subtle. This one has no. It's more of like a satin. Like it's not matte, but it's more like a satin. Just a straight gel coat.
I like it, man. You fish some stained water, they won't even ever see you.
It's right, and I did that. We're gonna talk about that one.
Old St. Nick with the old overshare here. He goes, on extra cold days, I'm an innie. And then he goes, I guess green icon right off the bat. Yeah, fair enough. Welcome, everybody, to another amazing episode of Jigs and Bigs. We're glad to have you here. As always, just a quick reminder right off the rip. If you like what you're hearing right now, please give us a review over at Apple Podcasts. That is always super helpful. Give us a rating on Spotify as well, if that's your preferred platform of choice. We're on all kinds of different platforms, so go ahead, give us a rating and a review wherever you are. And we're all in for this stuff. It's been an amazing week of some pretty wild shit. And as we get into August is just a crazy ass month for everybody here. I mean, and that extends beyond Jigs and Bigs and Dark Horse Tackle. Like, I mean, we're talking Kayak Adventure Series, like the big party. I feel the one at least we've been talking about the most because it's closest to us is the event happening on the weekend of the 9th and 10th. At this not Sandusky, the Susquehanna River. It's pretty amazing, man. An event in PA, and it's as close as the Kayak Adventure Series has gotten to New England. So I'm curious, jig heads, if you're in here, are any of you guys going down to the Susky to compete or just for the hang? Because word on the street is that this has been a very social friendly kind of event, and I'm totally here for it. I could not be more excited. Let's get some comments going from our jig heads if anybody's going out there. And listeners, feel free to comment on any of our socials where you see any of this stuff, or if you're listening on Spotify, you can also engage with us there and leave some comments on the episode. We get notifications for those, and we take that shit pretty seriously. We also want to mention, have you guys checked out the Jigs and Bigs store recently?
I did actually. There's some cool stuff on there.
I'm trying to add a little bit of extra, like some real fire,
Yeah.
I'm working on it. We are gonna
we got to do a little Dark Horse Tackle Jigs and Bigs collab T-shirt or something, dude.
I think that would be a thing of beauty, right there.
That'd be sick.
I think that would 100% be a thing of beauty. Make that happen. Oh, I'm getting ideas.
Hell yeah.
And not great things happen when I have ideas.
By the way, the ice cream truck just came and went. I hate both of you.
I mean, if you want to run down the street, I'll fill.
It's too late.
I can fill for time. Too late. burn too many calories before you get that bomb pop and run all the way back up. What are we all drinking today, fellas, on the show?
So,
Topo Chico, fair. I can get in with that.
I think for the first time, I am alcohol free for this show, and not so much because I chose it, but I realize I don't have any more beers I like left, and my ice machine in my fridge ain't working, and I have no ice, so I can't even. And I refuse to do a cocktail without ice.
So your issues are it's not cold enough, and you don't like the beer that you have. That is not an excuse, Joe. That is not an excuse.
You know what?
You go beat your head off the floor until I tell you.
After the first segment, I will have a beer in my hand. How about that?
I'm alcohol free this week. I actually that sound that you heard was a can of Diet Coke that I was opening up, and I'll tell you what. I've always been a fan of the diet soda. I have, like, always. We've had this conversation, but I've been having I don't want to say if it's maybe a revival of fanboyness with Diet Coke.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have heard there's a reel or on TikTok. There's a TikTok going around. This random dude going like, "Oh, I'm just gonna enjoy myself a crisp Diet Coke," but he can modify. Well, I'll just play the audio for you.
Crisp Diet Coke. I mean Diet Coke. I mean Diet Coke. I mean Diet Coke. I mean Diet Coke.
And like a 6-pack of these found their way into my cooler on the boat one day. And after a good day of fishing, and the spirits are all high, and everything you say is hilarious. I just started kind of like acting out this meme, and I'm just every time I crack one of these open, I'll be like, "Oh," okay. And I modified it to "Goddamn, that's crisp," and I'm going to put that at the beginning of every show until the Coca-Cola company realizes
they need to sponsor Bobby fucking roast beef.
Just a few bucks, buddy. Just a few bucks, please.
That's what I'm saying.
I just something.
Throw me a 12-pack per episode, and I will be your cheerleader. I can.
So
be
I got a Coke secret, a Diet Coke secret. If you, it's not Diet Coke, Coke Zero. Coke Zero with any black spiced rum.
Okay.
Specifically like Kraken. I think the Captain, the Morgan. I think they make one too, like a black spiced rum.
Dark rum, yeah.
Yeah. If you just do a rum and Coke with that, with the Coke Zero, it tastes like caramel almost. It's delicious.
I can see that. I can see that. Well, a lot of people. The thing is with me, like with diet sodas, I'm a fan because of the mouthfeel. I don't like the syrupy sugar of like regular soda. I also don't like the fact that it's like an additional 100 calories per can. I'd rather have a beer.
My only issue with diet soda, especially Diet Coke, which if I drink a Coke, which is very rare, but I do drink a Diet Coke, that's what I will drink, nothing else. But my only issue with them is the foam burps.
That can be rough.
The real wet ones.
They're just foamy. It's like foam. You're waiting for the noise, and it's just like foam.
It's just, I can see that, dude. I can see that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they hit you at the wrong time, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, you're waiting. You're expecting, and what you get is.
You're right. You're right.
It's the truth. It is the truth. Before we get into our fishy weeks, guys, I came home from my trip this weekend to a package from none other than Charlie Moore. Charlie Moore sent me a box he sent me a box of and I want to talk about this, his spice line, Charlie Moore Outdoor Spices. Yep. And now when he on the show, I was like, okay, so this is probably like a Charlie Moore like like a barbecue spice or like a steak seasoning or a Cajun blend or something like that. No. Dude has Charlie Moore branded like onion powder, basil, smoked paprika. He has a lot of like other stuff like a garlic pepper and a lemon pepper, and like there is a steak seasoning. There's a wicked Cajun, which Cajun seasoning is a go-to with me. I have multiple varieties of brands like Tony C's and all kinds of shit for different stuff. Unbelievable. Benny speaks from experience. Says Diet Coke also provides crisp farts. Yes, yeah, very crisp, very crisp. And it's just where the fuck was I? What was I even talking about before I got side railed there?
Crisp farts.
No. Pre-crisp farts. Spices. So I mean, there's a huge variety. Like I grabbed one of them. I looked at it. I was like, this is basil. I was like, are you for real? So when he says he has a spice line, homeboy's not kidding. Like he's got whatever it is that you need. I'm like, okay, that's pretty crazy. I also didn't realize that he's got his brand. It's a partnership. I forget with who, but I'll mention because I'm going to throw these spinner baits. He sent me a bunch of these half-ounce spinner baits with like painted blades. Really, really nice looking shit. And a cool hat that I left upstairs and I forgot to grab it. I'm going to probably have it. I'm probably going to do a little unboxing video. I'll wear that. It says Mad Fisher on it. But it's like, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. You're the man.
Hey, like, what if I really need basil? I got like $10. Like, can I get like a dime bag of basil?
I can hook you up. I know a guy. Meet me at the 7-Eleven your way.
Sometimes I'm tempted to sell herbs on street corners just to like actual herbs. Like, yeah, like you know, like we got a poultry mix seasoning here that is so badass.
Ooh. Like right around Thanksgiving, I'll bet you do mad numbers and say.
Hit me with some of that savory, Zach. Hit me with that savory.
Oh, good Lord.
My God. So let's talk. Let's talk a little fishy shit. How was everybody's week as far as getting fishy? Why don't we start with you, Zach, being our guest? Chime in.
I actually last Sunday, I floated the Beaver River with
you floated the beef.
Yeah, floated the beef with Dockmaster. Yeah. We had a great time. Caught lots of fish. Not too many over like, 11, 12 inches.
Yeah, the numbers.
But yeah, like literally like a shit ton of fish. I did catch my very first muskie that day.
Oh, no shit, dude. Nice.
Yeah, tiger muskie. Wasn't very big. Like probably like, I don't know, 24, 27 inches, something like that. Yeah, it was pretty fucking cool. Brian lost his wedding ring, and it was a very irreplaceable kind of deal. And I felt real bad about that. He still said he had a great time and all that other stuff, and we did have a great time. But I feel really bad about that, and I keep thinking about it. Like I kind of like want to go try to find it, but it ain't happening. And I blame a catfish. So he caught one catfish, and he had to like wrestle with it and like do the things you got to do to get a catfish off. And I bet you it slimed him up, and that's how it came off his finger.
What did he have to do to get a catfish off?
Well,
how did he have to lower himself?
It's been a great show. We will see you next week.
Actually, closing credits.
While we're on the subject of catfish, did you guys see this happened? I guess now I think 2 weeks ago. Did you guys see the pictures of Andrew Hayes' hand? After
I have not seen him. I heard the story, but I have not seen him.
Yeah, I was going through my Instagram story, and I was like, I came across his, and I was like, what the actual fuck, dude? And then he talked about it in that following episode. Like this happened. It was rough, man. They were in like the middle of nowhere. They had to walk back, lug the kayaks up back to the truck to get back to the hospital. Like it was, I guess this barb had gone straight up through his hand, and then like an absolute pro, he was like, And I imagine in that moment, it was like from Family Guy when Stewie gets like, I think something through like his head. And he's like,
that shard of glass.
Do I take it out? Yes, exactly. That shard of glass. He's like, do I leave it in or take it out? Do I leave it in or take it out? Well, Andrew decided to just pull the barb out, which it made things that much worse. He's like, I've never seen so much blood in my kayak. I'm like,
I didn't need that visual. Didn't need it.
But yeah, it was pretty brutal. But yeah, dude, fucking around catfish is, sketchy. It can be.
Josh and I have been joking back and forth. We got a few videos, and we've been thinking about the that's whatever that song is, or I don't even know what it is. I know it was like popular for a hot second on social media, but the Dumb Ways to Die.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. My kids used to love that song.
Small 10-inch smallmouth on a treble hooked bait in a kayak.
Yeah.
It's Dumb Ways to Die.
Yep.
Like
terrible idea. Terrible.
Like and then I sent you guys a picture on the group chat of the muskie I caught. So I've got teeth, a crankbait, vector hooks, all flying around, and in that picture, it kind of looks like I'm getting ready to stab it with my pliers. I was not going to stab the muskie, but but it was scary.
Dude, hell yeah. I mean, you add vector hooks in there, that's a recipe for, oh, shit. That's brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have experience pulling them out.
Did you guys see the video of
Yeah, you do.
It was I think it was Midwest Fisher Girl. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
She caught a muskie recently, and it fucking, as she was going to grab it or unhooking it, it fucking grabbed onto her leg, her knee.
Dude, that's
and this is like a 40. Now I'm gonna find it here. It was a huge.
So
one.
their teeth, pike as well. They're not like straight. They're kind of like barbs themselves. They kind of like.
Yeah.
Curl back ever so slightly. It's a bitch getting those off.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that is brutal.
Oh, yeah. So here's, let me see
if I
show
see
this
it
to you guys.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Jesus.
And it actually, I believe it'll show you. Let me.
One of us should say what's going on right now. So Midwest Fisher
yeah,
Girl
so
that's Christine Fisher. Yeah, and she's got a big hooked up. It's in the net. So she's bringing it to her kayak. Now she's got her hand under the gill plate, lifting it up. And you know what? I'm gonna make Joe's the biggest screen so everybody can see it. There we go.
Right there.
Oh, there it is. Yep, it thrashes and it grabs her knee that's hanging over the kayak.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Holy cow.
And in a kayak, you know what I mean? It's like for her to keep her composure the way she did.
Oh yeah.
And like, Bobby showed the aftermath. It was no, you see it bleeding.
You can see it right there. Yeah, it's bleeding all over the place.
Huge muskie.
That's a huge muskie. God.
There's something else I noticed in there, and Joe, I assume you're probably a little more fit than myself or Bobby, but when's the last time either of you guys were able to bend yourself in half like that to grab something without like rushing all of the air out of yourself because your gut is smashing into your knees?
It's been middle school.
Dude, I was at the doctor's 2 weeks ago because I pulled my back out fucking lifting a tote.
Yeah.
I saw her like how she had bent herself over to like pick that thing up out of the water. And I'm like, dude, I can't bend like that.
She's a lot younger than us. We'll say that.
It's true. Binia makes a good point here. He goes, those cuts bleed forever because there's enzymes in their mouth. That's exactly what it is. That's that bacteria will just dude, that is brutal. I can't imagine.
So check this out, right?
Set of jaws.
So my mom, about 74 years old at the time, 76 now. She was floating on the Pocomoke, really hot day. And she decided she'd kind of hang her feet out over the side of the kayak. Yeah. Just let them her heels rest in the water.
Man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to get a little bit of that little cool down. A pickerel came up out of nowhere and latched onto her heel. Unprovoked, nothing. Just came up out of the water and bit the absolute shit out of her heel. And it locked itself on there and she couldn't get it off. I've never heard of anything like that before in my life. I'm like, what do you mean? It just came up out of nowhere and grabbed the shit out of her heel. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's brutal, dude.
So do you guys remember? Did you guys watch Andrew? Was it Andrew Wade?
Jeremy Wade?
Jeremy Wade. What fucking show was that?
River Monsters.
Jesus, I used to watch every episode. Do you guys? There was an episode where someone got attacked, and he's like, "The only thing I think of is it was a muskie," and I was like, I don't know. And then I just saw that, so I'm like, oh, maybe.
Oh. Dude,
maybe it could have been.
These are for their ecosystem. They are like top tier predators.
Apex, Apex predator.
It's like it's like water. They could like that one specifically. A tiger muskie, like come on. It's like Joe Exotic's. Like I'm never gonna financially recover from this. It's the worst idea ever. You know.
Think twice. Think twice before you jump off the back of that boat to cool down.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. I mean, 99% of the time, you generally have nothing to worry about. But you know, it is that one time where you're like, shit, there's something large enough that could maybe take a tow.
Well, so where that happened to my mom was in the Pocomoke River, which is a tidal river, not all that far from the Atlantic Ocean. If that shit would have happened to me, I'd have freaked the hell out because, dude, bull sharks come up that far.
It could have been exactly. It's 100% true.
Yep.
That's brutal. That's brutal. What about the rest of your week, Zach? You get into anything else?
So that was last Sunday. Yesterday I went fishing under possibly the worst conditions you can possibly go fishing for largemouth. The pressure was like 30.2, which is very, very high.
Oh, really?
We had very high bluebird skies and a wind out of the east. That's all
the least.
Yeah, that's all. Like, don't go fishing. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
I only went for 4 hours. It was hot as shit, but I was actually able to catch a few.
Oh, that's good.
Well, you know, there was grass and pads, and I had a frog. So
game on, right?
You know what I mean? I got to see a giant, and I have yet to upload the stuff from the camera, but I'm pretty sure I got it on camera. I saw a giant. I didn't miss him. He missed me.
Yeah.
Not my fault. I'm not taking that one. I'm not taking it.
I'm with you, man. They miss us just as much.
Dude, he was like, there was like a good foot between him and the water. He came up out of the water that fast and that hard. It was pretty badass. But no, that's about the extent. I caught, I don't know. I caught about 3 or 4. I want to say somewhere between 2 and 3 pounders.
That's not bad.
No.
You know, it could be worse.
Badass, and with all the work going on, for me to be able to get out and fish that many times in 7 days, very good, very happy.
Hell yeah, dude. Anything dark horse related going that you want to spill some beans on or anything? Or
dude, we got. First of all, I put this bait in my hand, and this is coming in August, and I don't know why, but you guys ever just put a bait in your hand? Hold on a minute.
Stand by. Why is it?
And stay with us while we got. He's got one of those cameras that follow.
He's got one of those AI cameras.
All right. Do you guys ever just put a bait in your hand and like immediately have confidence? You're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna wreck shit with this.
Yeah, that sack pig rat was very much like that. Oh wow! Oh,
holy
whoa!
Shit.
Okay, yeah. So that's a beef craw, right?
It absolutely is.
Yep.
And it's a madmouth structured jig.
Oh yes, baby. That's a great combo.
All right, now I didn't even cut anything off of that beef craw. Whoop. I didn't even cut anything off of that beef craw.
Yeah.
I think it's going to work well. And for some reason, I'm looking at this and I'm like, dude, if I was underwater, I'd eat this.
Dude, those
eat it right now.
Those claws will flutter in a way that it will 100% get
And we're not even done yet. So that's the beef craw and a Mad Mouse structure jig, which, by the way, both are coming in the August box. That's our no skunk box, because August is tough, man.
It can be very tough.
So we're going to do everything we can to keep the skunk out. Now, this is something I am extremely excited about. We had a bait maker that we work with reach out to us, let us know that he had something new coming. And we got one of the first runs of them. And when I saw it, I immediately knew what Jighead I wanted to put it on.
Oh, okay, cool.
And what we got here is a sharpshooter from Fish or Die. And we've got it on a BizBaits stand-up Ned. So, this thing is a flat-bottomed Ned head. So it literally, when it hits the bottom, it stands up. And I'm really excited about it because, like, a lot of, like, you got bottom feeding, like gizzard shad are bottom feeding. Okay. And this is right now you're getting into like new of the year, right? So like little gizzard shad feeding on the bottom, dude, this is going to kill them. It's going to kill them. It just is. So yeah, those are two things I'm super excited about coming in the box. I mean, we just had a river box, and that was probably one of the best times I've had in a long time, man.
The river box is freaking sweet. It's really,
like
really,
the
really
whole
great
thing,
show.
like the collaboration with Live Rough Die Tough, getting Josh and I getting to go down there and fish the Shenandoah River, which, like, I mean, come on, country roads, right? Like, I've never seen the Shenandoah River, and there I am on the Shenandoah River. Like, not just there, on it, in it. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm wading it. Dude, it was badass. It was, and crazy enough, I learned a lot of theory to practical application. So you hear everybody talk all the time about, you know, current and how it affects fish and what to do and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Well, on this river, first of all, it's moving like a motherfucker. And there are like rocks everywhere, dude. Big ones.
Yeah.
So you have like current seams and it's all very visual. But it's a lot of it, right? So like all these different things you hear about how to fish current, you have it repeated in front of you like multiple times.
Ad nauseum. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so like all of a sudden it all starts to make sense.
Yeah.
When you start catching the fish and the different, like you catch a fish in a current seam, dude, this water was cooking. This is like white water. Like it was freaking cooking.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And
to
dude,
be
you're
waiting
still
that
catching
is
smallmouth.
crazy. Yep.
Like you're they are literally sitting there in a current seam in white water. Like just ready to smack the shit out of your bait. And so like I said, a lot of theory, like all the stuff that you listen to on YouTube and watch on YouTube, all the stuff that you may read about, whatever, and all these people talking about how to fish current, like that situation taught me so much just because of how it was. So a lot of theory to practical application. I'll never fish current the same.
That's the best though, because like you've heard Zach before where they're like, you go out for a day of fishing and you don't maybe catch a single damn thing, but the lesson that you learned about like what you were doing and everything, there's value there. Like that kind of a trip right there is like value times 10.
Oh, dude, it was so badass. Plus it was really pretty. It was really pretty. And TJ walked around with his shirt off the whole time. And Josh took his shirt off too for a little bit. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's always, fantastic. How was it wading that heavy of a current? Like, were you really like super cautious about what you're doing, or were you getting out to move up to find an area to wade?
It wasn't so bad. So the river is like historically low right now.
Oh, okay.
It's really low. Now I'm telling you, I'd hate to see it when it's not because because it was
it's that much more water moving that much faster.
Yeah, dude, it was cooking. But like even in some of the whitewater parts, like if you were careful, and I guess the trick is to not lift your feet too high when you're doing it. So like you kind of like shuffle.
Yeah.
And if you do that, so like if you do that, first of all, you're not going to trip over a rock because you'll bump into it first, right?
Yep.
But also, like if you pick your feet up too high whenever the current's cooking like that, it will move your leg.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you're fucked. So, but no, it was pretty cool, dude. Like we were able to cross some current that I didn't think we were going to be able to cross, and it was a lot of fun.
That's cool. That's fucking awesome, dude. That's badass. How about
big shout out, by the way, that's big shout out to TJ Vance, owner of Live Rough Die Tough. He has he makes some really awesome t-shirts.
Yep.
A bunch of other apparel that he makes with his own hand-drawn designs. Really freaking cool. He also, TJ is also the owner of Night Burner Print Company. He hand does print screening, so he makes t-shirts.
That's cool.
He will make them for whoever wants to pay him.
Yeah, of course.
And he's very good at it. So, guys, small business, hit him up.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. You got a specialty shirt, something you want to make? That's exactly who you want to hit up for something like that. That's badass.
Absolutely. And he's very, very, very reasonably priced.
Yeah. That's badass, man. I'm loving that. Joe,
actually, Martin's, I think Martin's used him.
Martin's Custom Tackle?
Yeah, for Martin's Custom. Yeah, for his last round of shirts. Yeah. Oh, and he was also very excited. So TJ's getting around. Slut.
I freaking love it, man. So I got while I'm thinking about this, Joe, because this is actually a good transition point.
Mm-hmm. Are we sure Zach's done?
I'm pretty sure.
Before we transition, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Don't ask again. I cannot be done.
It could be bad. Don't trigger him. Do not trigger him. So I had it was just before we started the show. Actually, I had an email come through for what could potentially be an opportunity to help make things a bit easier. Zach, you know that we were talking this week about Columbus and the fishing expo, because that's how it is. Like, you know, ICAST just ended and all that stuff, and everybody's talking like buzz, industry. We got expos that we got to plan, stuff like that. Yep. I only want to go so far as to say this is that Columbus was amazing last year. Dare I say it's going to be at least 33% more amazing this year, all the way around.
That's factual. 33%. That's exactly.
Yeah, I think exactly that's the amount of improvement that we've had laid out, and it's going to be freaking amazing. St. Nick says I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be unbelievable. I have a couple of things this week that I have to get cracking on, but I think that this as luck would have it, right before we started recording the show, I had something kind of fall in my lap that could be fantastic and help me. It'll limit some of my scheduling, but it'll help me to make things a little bit easier for travel down the road. This could be a good thing. Good stuff.
Jigs and Bigs private jet.
Jigs and Bigs
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So Joe, let's get into it, because we have like video fucking footage of your fishy week.
Yeah,
and shit like that. So go ahead, start at the beginning, and I'm ready to share whenever you need it.
So first off,
yep.
I don't know if any of you have noticed, but I took, you know, I had to take after the famous Bobby roast beef. I'm back in my home office, and as you can see behind me, I have the aesthetics going just as Bobby roast beef does. Got a little light going in the back.
Absolutely.
It's mostly because I fucked up my back a couple weeks ago, and the chair in the garage kind of hurts. So I figured,
there you go.
I'd come use Meg's fancy chair and just move everything back in here. But yeah,
lumbar support, and I love it. I love the textures too, because you've got wood, timber.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I've got rocks and like asbestos, and it's like it's a good contrast.
Yeah, but that's manly as fuck. Rocks and asbestos.
It's fucking prison.
That's how. Yeah. Bobby's doing this from his cell at the pen.
Solitary confinement in Ludlow jail.
Yeah. So what you guys don't know is all of Bobby's footage is actually green screen, and Bobby's been in jail for like the last 12 years.
Yeah. There's just a pond on the property.
Yeah. There's actually no one.
This fat fuck does not lift weights. Let's let him fish.
Yeah. When he makes appearances, it's actually a stand-in. So yeah. Yeah, so man, fishy shit. So I got out a couple times. I did one tournament Saturday. We'll get to that.
Nice.
I try to get the icon as much as I possibly can for a couple reasons. The boat's phenomenal. I love it. And the other one, I'm still trying to get used to it because it is much different than the Skeeter. And when you spend so much time on that deck, you want to know where everything is, how to use it, all of that. So it's been a lot of trial and error with electronics, things like that. Make sure I have all that good to go. So first send was a pretty local spot. Got onto a few fish, nothing crazy. Again, it was a lot of dialing in electronics. I only had a couple hours out there. Shawshank is also the name of. Oh, nice. Sorry, reading the comments. So got out to there. Unfortunately, it was a super busy week for me at work. We had some events going on that I kind of got pulled into and wasn't able to get out as much as I wanted. Like I couldn't do. I'm trying to get back into the Wednesday night league, so I haven't really been able to. Dan keeps giving me shit, but with work and the fact I didn't have a boat for 2 months, made it kind of difficult. But no, I don't have the top bunk. I'm making Meg come so I can get the honeymoon suite again.
There you go.
So the second send I did this week. I did a tournament, a local tournament, and I get on the water, and there's this crazy algae bloom going on that I've never seen before. I've never seen anything like it, to where I was telling Bobby before we started recording, the water has a layer that almost looks like they dumped millions of gallons of antifreeze on it. It's bright.
Dude, does it look like ectoplasm, like from Ghostbusters?
Dude, it's neon green.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about it a little.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the algae a little bit later in the just the tip. But so that place had been on fire for me the last few weeks. That's where I caught my PB. I'm about to drop a YouTube video of catching a bunch of fish on there on a send. And and especially the topwater bite had just been phenomenal. So I went in there with so much confidence for this tournament, and I get in there, dude, and it's just, it was just absolute dog shit. And what I thought, and we're gonna go over this just a tip, none of my electronics were working. So while I'm out there, I'm also talking to people from Thayer's to try to get fucking my electronics figured out. Cause when you spend that much money on a boat, you want everything to work flawlessly. So, I had no electronics. So not that I really need them there anyway, but there is one spot I really need it for, and I could not get to that spot because of it. But dude, I caught one fish in there on a topwater bite in some where the ectoplasm, as we'll call it, wasn't as thick because of the wind. It was kind of pushing it the opposite direction. So I had my buddy, he's actually my cousin, but I had Ryan Anderson was with me as my partner. We hadn't done a tournament in a while. I called him dude, you're doing a tournament with me Saturday, like the old days. He's like, all right, I'm in. So dude, we couldn't buy a bite. I don't know what the hell was going on. I knew it was because of this algae, and I found out they had sprayed it the Monday before, which they never spray this place. So I don't know if it's because of whatever fucking bloom is going on. They decided to spray this place. I have no idea.
Hashtag stop spraying.
Yeah, no shit. So as Bobby's very familiar with this place. Actually, I'll just tell you guys because I don't want you to go there and get your shit all fucked. So I was at Quabog in Brookfield. That's where the algae bloom is going on. So Ryan goes to me, right? And he goes, dude, the only chance we have is if we go into South Pond, which is a body of water that's attached to this that has the smallest, tightest space that you have to go under to get there.
Yep. And
so I'm going kind of down that river, right? And I go, dude, I don't know. I've never even done it in a Skeeter, and this boat's wider. He's like, yeah, you're right. And we have a guy come by in and actually it was a nice Stratus. from back in the day. You can go fish there all you want, Dan, because it's absolute dog. Actually, you know what, dude? I want you to go fish it. Go fish it. Your make sure you use all your electronics, dude. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. So we go in there. So I'm going down that little river area, and I see a guy come by in a Stratus. It's much smaller than me. And I was like, "Did you just come from south?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, is the bridge open? He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." I was like, "You think I'd make it in there?" He's like, "I think you would, but it's gonna be real tight." I'm like, "All right, dude." I was like, "Ryan, fuck it, we're doing it." So we get up to that, and Bobby knows they have that like kayak launch right there.
Oh yeah, yep.
And dude, people were looking at me like I was a fucking maniac as I pull up in my boat, like past that little kayak launch, and we stop right there. And here we go. Here's the video. A play-by-play that I took of this is Ryan and I getting the
I needed to fucking play. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna reshare it here.
Yeah.
Reshare it.
So I took a
dude,
video.
my nuts were in my throat watching you do that.
Yeah, dude. So we actually were like almost on our backs and like you see the concrete. That's how we were pulling ourselves under through there.
Holy shit.
How close were you to taking the cowl off your motor, dude?
So luckily I was able to it was deep enough to where I could keep trimming it down and I had enough space. But like, dude, I'm like hunched back, like my head's like in my feet right there.
Look at the fucking dunks in the cup holder. Like I just want to.
We're in Massachusetts, of course.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the fucking dunks in the goddamn cup holder. God damn, dude.
Yeah,
dude, I had to pull the plug on the boat, let some water in.
Oh, dude. So it was.
You look at where the graphs are, dude.
Yeah, and I like literally just pulling myself through, and people at the other boat ramp are looking at us like we're absolute lunatics. I think I peer back. It's Big Joshy on the boat. You see that? But I think I view back to Ryan when he's under, and you can really see it.
Oh yeah, dude. That's like he's crouched way down, bending down, like.
But dude, everybody knows the good ones are just on the other side of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly it.
If it like Jay said, if the water's like high for the season there, it's still kind of a little bit low. But you see, I had to put the power poles like halfway down, had to trim down, and but dude, like people were looking at us like I was absolutely out of my fucking mind doing this, and I was, I guess, because I had probably. This boat's a 98-inch beam. You see those two concrete pillars. I probably had 2 inches on each side.
That's crazy.
Dude, is this actually a clip from your OnlyFans, Joe's feet?
Yes. Dude, I have 22 years in the military. I have the ugliest fucking feet, dude. If you want my feet on OnlyFans, you're a fucking monster.
You're a wacko.
People are weird, dude.
So we got into the other side, and we finally found some fish. We finally found a few fish. They were sitting like. Unfortunately, we got there. I mean, the tournament ends at 3:00. We went in there at like 12:30.
Oh yeah.
But I was finding them. So this is where like I'm loving the 360 because I was finding those little patches of grass in like 12 to 15 feet of water. I put the live scope over to it, and I was actually catching them on. Actually, you know what I was catching them on was I just got a couple battle baits, spinner baits, and I was using. I can't remember the color right now, but I wasn't using a trailer. I wanted to keep it compact. And it was like the whitish with the red and the silver and red willow blades.
Yep.
So it was one red willow blade. Oh, dude, every time I put that thing by that grass, above that grass, I just came out and smoked it.
That's
so
awesome.
So got a couple there. Had to go back under the bridge, like the same thing. And we got back. We hit one more. We tried to hit one more spot in Quabog. Fucking nothing. I think a pickerel. I think we got a pickerel. But yeah, so we go back up to the boat ramp, and Meg, my wife, had met me at the ramp because I forgot my weigh-in bag.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned before, and I'm not gonna we'll get into it just a tip, but she comes off and she's like, everyone's electronics were broken. Like, that's so weird. She's like, I wonder if like we get like the systems got hacked or something like that.
Oh yeah, she's thinking it's like a cloud thing or something.
Yeah, yep. And I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. But yeah, we'll talk later about what actually happened. But so the person that won the tournament and only like kind of went away with it a little bit was he went straight to South Pond, fished South Pond the entire time, and he got just under 13 pounds. So it was
13 pounds.
Yeah, small bag. I mean, Dan was up over 20 the last turn. Actually, last year for because this was Spence from Berkshire Bass. This was his tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yep. This is his. I always do the one at least. I try to do a couple of them. I always do the Quabog one. So yeah, it was definitely a tough go for sure. It sucked. I mean, I put fish on the boat. I put fish in the box, so I got to use got the live well, got some fish slime in there, so I was happy about that.
That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where we're at. We did not do. We were maybe middle of the pack. We did not do good. But yeah, it was. I mean, it still had a blast. We hit the river a little bit to fucking nothing. South Pond. The problem with South Pond is, I mean, Bobby, we were, you and I were just there recently. Big wreck lake because it's so clean and it's so deep. So, dude, we went in there and it was immediately dealing with wreck boats. One old dipshit on a fucking jet ski that I was like, I actually said to Ryan, I was like, dude, I haven't been in a fight in a long time, and today might be the day.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, because he just kept coming so close and so here's the difference: is these guys don't. I think a lot of these people in their mind don't see that as being close, or they just kind of don't know the etiquette. But to me, it was just too close, for us fishing. And he did go this. No, this was a different guy. We were fishing kind of out away from the shore, but I was fishing some grass, and Ryan was kind of fishing in towards shore. So what's the one thing you don't do? You don't go between the boat and the shore if they're fishing. And they fucking
definitely
did it.
not.
They did it.
Yeah, that's brainless.
Like, oh my, yeah. So, and again, it was like, this one was a boat. It was like a little old lady driving it, waving at us. So obviously she's just so fucking out of it.
Totally clueless.
Yeah, clueless. Probably lives on the lake. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it was a tourney though. It was a derb. I was out there. I had a blast. I always have a blast when I'm on derbs.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going out today, but I did some family time today. We were gonna go out. Meg still hasn't been on the Icon yet.
She hasn't?
She hasn't been on and she's so not happy about it. Like she met us at the ramp, because Ryan's very close to us and our family and everything.
For sure,
and she's like, I can't believe you got on it before me. And we were gonna go on it today, but we had to do we had some adult things that we had to get done around the house and shit. So we ended up doing that. Yeah, not with Emma, dude. She runs the roost, so she's like, we had to go get like stuff because we had to start buying stuff. She's going to like a charter private school next year. Like she starts in like 3 weeks, so we had to start getting like uniform shit. And I was like, and I don't plan on being around next weekend. So I was like, all right,
dude, how dare you talk about back to school?
Dude, it's like coming up fast.
You're killing the fishing season. Like,
I'm killing. So Zach, you have children
for parents. You're making.
You have children, so you get this. Yes, I am killing the fishing season, which sucks. But I do plan on going south a lot this year, or at least a couple times. But get them back in school, dude. I'm so fucking sick of them being in the house.
I'm saying, dude, get them out in school. I'll just drop off with the boat. Then I can hit the water. I'll be there at 3:00 to pick you up. Don't worry about that. It'll be fine.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with fishing October 19th.
Yeah. So news break. So we talked about it. So the Fish or Die tournament coming up October 19th that we've talked about. I have a partner.
Oh, you have a partner. Who's your partner? Really?
Breaking news from God yesterday. So it just we were just talking, having a conversation about. He's like, dude, I gotta get on that boat. I was like, well, you blew us off on the St. Lawrence. I'm going back up there October 19th for a team tournament. And he's like, is this my invite? I was like, it is now.
Dude, I literally stopped at a thrift store today on the way home so I could get a little espresso cup and saucer for your boat. So
that's perfect, dude.
Oh no. Yeah, the espresso machine on there comes with 2 cups.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or crystal, of course. None of
yeah.
They're
Crystal. Yeah. They're
Well,
crystal. So that's like how I guess that's how I like get Zach to actually like go up there with us. So
no, badass, dude. Badass. I can't wait. Dude, I've literally already watched like 3 tournaments on the St. Lawrence.
Dude, it's why I gotta buy a flogger, dude.
Oh my god, we're gonna flog
you
too.
got Zach on the boat.
I think you're good to go.
Yeah. He's probably got one in the back of his closet somewhere.
He's familiar with flogs.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
They don't look like the thing you're talking about there. They're completely different.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
My God.
So, but yeah, that was my fishy week. Hopefully I'm trying to get out a couple times next week, trying to get out Wednesday, and I have another tournament next weekend.
Yeah.
And then I'm possibly meeting up with Kevin from Fish or Die, hopefully at some point down at Candlewood. So we will see.
Hey folks, Fish or Die, sharpshooter.
Hell yeah.
Coming next month, right?
And then they
This thing is hot. This thing is hot.
dropped that. Did you see the new bait they just dropped, Zach?
I saw the 3D renderings.
Oh, it's done.
Oh.
It's done and printed. I'll text it to you.
Oh.
They did it. It's on social media, but I texted it to Bobby earlier. But I will.
Well, I was working today. Like, they actually made me work today. Like, they actually made me work. Like, I had to my hands got dirty at least 4 times today.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
not
Like,
good.
that's
On a
not
weekend?
why I joined the union. Like, I'm quitting.
No. Yeah. That's big whiff, union. Big whiff.
These conditions are going to shit.
Yeah.
Oh, should I get started? This has been an interesting week.
Yes, go for it.
So this week, a lot of this was, I knew that the big trip out was this past weekend. I went up to Burlington, Vermont with my wife. We made a trip of it. And I was like, you know what? We were staying at this place called the Starlight Inn, right? I'm going to set the stage here. I'll tell you like where we were staying. Then I'll talk about the fishing later. We were staying in a place called the Starlight Inn. The Starlight Inn is just outside of Burlington and Colchester. And it's right up against the Sunset Drive-In movie theater. It's a 4-screen movie theater, like nice little setup. And it's the same owners that own both. So part of our stay there included a night at the drive-in. And what happened to be playing at the drive-in, but Deadpool and Wolverine. I highly recommend everybody go and watch this movie. It's fantastic. It's a ton of fun. You're just going to love it.
For real, you're not joshing me? It's that
No. I think it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It ties up a lot of things nicely. I think that needed to get done. There's like that transactional sort of, Fox and Disney sort of thing that's going on back and forth.
I'm a Marvel fanboy.
Don't cover it. Yeah,
I'm a Marvel fanboy. I'm excited.
You'll love it. I think that these 2 characters and the actors that play them, everybody, it's a perfect sort of fit. It's a lot of fun. We had an absolute blast. John's right. The cameos are fucking crazy, insane. I'm going to say this. I think Channing Tatum as Gambit was probably a fucking highlight that I was not expecting at all. And I know Gambit's my wife's favorite character, but they gave him you're just going to love it. I'm just going to say the accent. Oh, yes. So
but
good.
Dude, I love Gambit too. He's like the least superhero
he totally is.
Ever was.
And there's a line in there where like he even says he's like, so they're in this part where they're basically meeting all of these people from that Fox wing, like they meet Elektra, and I won't even describe the whole situation, and all these other, and Gambit's one of them, and he says like, so what can you do? What's your superpower? And he's like, I throw these cards and they go boom. I'm like, that's good. But he does it in like the worst fucking like Creole kind of accent. It's fucking ridiculous. But it's also at the same time it's fucking great. And what happens to the Human Torch is just wait
Who
till the
knew
end
there
credits.
was going to be spoilers on this show?
Yeah. Wait through the end credits because you'll get. There's a great comedic setup that's in the film, and then at the end of the credits there that ties everything all together. It's fucking awesome.
If you go see a Marvel movie and you don't wait until the credits are over, you're done.
You're silly. Yeah, you got to wait. So we did that. That was a lot of fun. But, I had, it was probably about 2 weeks beforehand. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna call and I'm going to talk to the owner of the motel and see if there's a spot where I can park the boat. Because I told my wife, I'm like, we're there all day Saturday. I go, what would you love more than just being able to luxuriate in the hot tub, hang out on your Saturday morning, sleep in all you want, do whatever it is that you want to do. Shit, go shopping if you want or whatever, I'm like, I'll meet up with Binya Outdoors and he and I will fish the Great Lake Champlain. And that's exactly what we did. So it was a whole lot of fun. Now, Benny and I had been talking about like prep for all this stuff. Did not realize that there was a BASS qualifier going on. Initially, we thought that it was going to be the weekend after we were there, and as it would turn out, that was not the case. It all went down early, and there was a guy from Massachusetts that won it. Yeah, his name is Mark Burgess. Yep. He won the Bass Nation Champlain local or the qualifier right there. So congratulations, dude. That's awesome. I happen to see that. I think it was either Friday afternoon. I may have come across that, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! The winner's a mass guy. That's awesome." So that was very, very cool. I thought that was interesting. But setting things up for the week. So we're staying. Lodging wasn't anything crazy. Like it was nothing. It's probably one of the lightest loads of gear to travel with, even counting the boat that I have had to take. I will say this trip made it very clear to me what hauling that boat does to my gas mileage. Like, holy shit, my average went down to like 13.5 miles a gallon. Not that it was much higher beforehand, but it was like kissing 17.5, maybe 18 on the highway. Not so much right now. Let's go ahead and close this. I got to see what this. What else do we got here? So let's back up. Planning the week, Benny and I making some conversation, discussing the plan, what we're going to do. And we're looking at launches all over the place. And come to find out, like right around the corner from us, like a mile and a half away, there was a public launch. So we had access right there. Super easy. No issues. Joe and, or what am I saying? What was it? Tuesday, I went out with my daughter, Chloe. I had been nagging her since I got the boat. Like, hey, kid, we got to go out. I brought her out just for a cruise. And I said, I'd love to go fishing with you. If you ever want to go fishing with me, just let me know. She went out. She took a skunk, but she had a good time. We went to Congamon Junior. We actually saw a bunch of the planes landing over at Barnes. And we saw a bald eagle while we were out there. She was like, holy shit, bald eagles are fucking pretty cool. This is pretty amazing. She had a real good time. I had her set up with a Bronco blade and then a wacky rig. And the thing is with Chloe is she can use a bait caster. Like she can use a bait caster. It's been a few years since she's even tried it. I think that if she's into this, I might be putting together a small arsenal of rods for her. If she's into it, we'll see what happens. I caught a bunch of cookie cutter type, largemouth, nothing really, make any kind of fuss over, but put some fish in the boat. I think, did I even measure any of these? I didn't at all. Nothing that day. So then Wednesday, Thursday, a lot of work. I had a short week this week. No work on Friday. That was all pretty much travel. And then Thursday, the weather looked like it was kind of going to suck all week for the most part. And I had tentative plans with my father on Thursday. And I said, let's kind of play it by ear. We'll see what happens. Wednesday rolls around. We're looking at the weather report and things look good. So we're like, screw it. Let's go for it. So I brought my dad up the Shears to a spot where I like to fish to check off boxes. for the scavenger hunt because there's an abundance of different fish up here that I can go ahead and put together. And I was really kind of looking for a pickerel. That's kind of why I went to Congamon Jr., figuring I could grab a pickerel there. No such luck. And I also needed a rock bass. And dude, I caught so many little balboas, would never even believe it. It was ridiculous. Most of them did not measure. The first one I entered in, like I had to just squeeze this fish out to get it to hit the 8-inch mark. I entered it and I was like, I'm going to keep fishing the same bait because I want to put something in that's I feel shitty entering in this fish. I'm like, I want to kick it out, which is exactly what I did. So I put an 8.5 in its place. So there was a point made there. My dad caught a bunch of different panfish, and I actually fished a night crawler for the first time in a long time on a drop shot, and just got absolutely cleaned out real quick with it. I was like, all right, no go there. Come back in, get things together, pack up, go on our trip. Now, Friday, the reason why we went up for this trip was because my wife and I've talked about this on the show, like our favorite band together to go see live is the Flaming Lips. I love the Flaming Lips. I can't really even put them in a single genre. Like they're just a group by themselves. And the frontman, Wayne Coyne, said it best because this show was a weekend long concert series that had started with the Revivalists on Thursday, Flaming Lips on Friday, and then Grace Potter, who is a Burlington local, played twice, Saturday and on Sunday. And this venue is just, I say venue, it's this waterfront park that goes right along the lake. And there's a marina right there, all kinds of great stuff. There's a little walk right in, and they have a stage set up, and it's facing the water. And I think this was kind of organized by like a Burlington like arts collective or something putting this whole thing together because this was like absolutely sold out. But Wayne Coyne from the Flaming Lips put it best. Like they're like 4 songs in their set, and what they were doing was playing their first set was them playing the entire album Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots.
Nice.
Dude, it was so good. So yeah, they get 3 songs in and he's like, so just so you guys are aware, like you're seeing these robots get inflated and deflated on stage for different parts of the song. They're like, this is what we're doing. And they're like, some of you guys may have seen this before and you understand what that is. They're like, some of you might be standing there going like,
what the fuck is happening at the waterfront?
And there were certainly some people, I think they were wide open to it, going by the aromas that were being released all over this crowd. And my wife and I, we hung out for it was just such a fucking nice night. It really was. They played a second set after that. My wife and I decided we would just kind of like walk around and then head back afterwards because we're like, you know what? We need to grab some dinner. It's been a long day. We've been on the road. Let's head home. So that's what we did. Slept like an absolute baby until 4 a.m. when my alarm went off. I got up, drove around to the back of the drive-in. That's where I parked the boat. Hitched the boat up, pulled up. Binya showed up. Dude, this isn't going to make the video. I was recording this whole, I recorded a video that's basically an entire vlog from like leaving to getting home. Like it covers a little bit of everything, heavy at the fishing, obviously, because jigs and bigs. So I grabbed the boat. Dude, Binya rolls up in his truck and he's got all of his gear. And he sets up, and as he's getting his gear, I don't know what happened, but he's right in front. Now remember, we're at a motel. Like it's our door and our room. My wife is sleeping on the other side of this door. Binya's alarm on his truck is going off 4:30 in the morning, just like like ridiculous. And what the fuck is happening? I'm dying laughing. He's panicking, trying to get his keys, and it was ridiculous. We hit the water. We were there crazy early. Sun only got up at 5 o'clock, and we had visions of topwater in mind. And the launch that we launched from was really a nice setup. It was, I think you might be able to qualify this as a 3-lane launch with a dock on each side. We dropped the boat out, and we only went out. We left in the sections called Mallett's Bay, and we really only kind of fished one cove around in that bay. Like if we'd gone out a little more, there was definitely more water to experiment with. But we're not about to take the boat out and really get into the main lake right away, because again, it's a huge body of water and wind is always an issue up here. So the plan was to stay relatively close by, and we found some spots where maybe we saw some fish that were hitting the surface, and again, knowing that they had been beaten up from this qualifying event for bass, we're just like, okay, let's we'll hit this point and then we'll work around here. We wanted to hit the marinas. We figured we could flip some docks and stuff. I'm sure the fish had seen plenty of that. We did manage to find fish that way. Was looking for a great little topwater looking to catch some fish on topwater. Didn't happen. Ended up throwing some BFS to just get bit. Throwing around what was it? Oh, it was one of the Darabreak finesse bladed jigs from Jackal. Throwing that bait around, and I got to re-up on some of those, and I can't find them anywhere. Not in the weight that I'm looking for. So the hunt is about to be on.
eBay.
I think you might be right. There's some JDM shops that I can reach out to, but I've already paid that inflated price, and I'd rather not. If I can check it out. There's a couple. What is it? Terradeca, I think, is the name of the website. Which has been pretty good to me in the past. It's just a matter of finding stuff that's in stock in the colors and the size that I'm looking for, but we'll figure it all out. So I go out, I hit the, we hit it hard. I put a smallie, a tiny smallmouth, in the boat early. We start fishing some docks. What was it? Benya hooked into a bullhead on a wacky rig, fishing that marina. I hooked into another, upsized another smallie, hooked this tiny largemouth as well, fishing this one bank just outside the marina. And then when we were flipping some docks, I was like, we got some grass under here. I go, I'm going to throw a jig. So I threw one of my probably most number one confidence baits for a jig, as far as size of jig, color, and even trailer. Popped all that stuff together, and then I was flipping under docks with it, and I hooked into the biggest fish of the day that we'd put in the boat, which was nothing crazy. I think this was maybe a 15-inch largemouth, maybe 15, maybe 16 on a good day. Decided we were going to put them in the live well, so that this way we could get a photo of all of the fish that we put together. Anything that was decent, we were going to hang on to just to get that picture at the end, because I'm a sucker for that. It's cheesy, I know, but I love that shit, So we pop that fish in a live well. We finish fishing around this one section of this marina, and Binya's like, dude, how about, since we're so close to the ramp, and I don't want to fucking... there were so many fucking wreck boats coming over and jet skis. He's like, I don't want to piss off the boat and fall out. So why don't we go back to the ramp and I'll go use the sandy can. I was like, sounds like a plan. So we motor over. This is where we got a little bit of drama, and I didn't get dick for video of this. There was a dude. So these are two very long docks, right? There was a dude who was, I think he was in a nitro, and no, it was a Skeeter actually, with a show, right? And he had launched his boat, and basically the first cleat where his boat came off the trailer, he tied to. And then
he didn't even go the other side or anything.
Nope, right fucking there. He moved his truck and then began walking loads of shit over to his boat and loading there. Now, there was another guy on the water. And Benny goes oh, that fucking guy, I forgot about him. Now, there was a dude in a really nice, a Lund Pro V bass, who was out that day. And we come over on the outside of one of these docks, and I tie off right at the end. In fact, I take that back. I didn't even tie onto the dock here. I was like, fuck it. I want to see how this works. So let's we grab the dock to sit in place, spot lock, and see what happens. And we stayed right up against it. There was very little wind. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. So this guy in the Lund is coming in, and he's trying to navigate a spot to go and tie off. And it's just not working. He is melting down, gentlemen. He is literally descending into madness. Hang on. Metal Jones Jones. I didn't get dick for photos. These were 2 very long ducks. Bobby roast beef. Yeah, fair enough. And then Benny says, to be fair, the guy was old and pretty sure he wasn't in high school. I'm pretty sure he was in high school with Jesus. So the dude in the Lund comes in and he is like breaking down. He is just like, what the fuck? He's like, why would you tie off there and then load your boat? What the fuck is wrong with you? The guy starts giving him shit back. And this guy like kind of spoke like he had a trach ring. Like he was like, you know what I mean? Ridiculous. So they're yelling back and forth. The old guy tells the guy, he's like, yo, you come up here if you want to do something about it. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I should get my fucking phone ready if I can get some footage. Thought Pro was rolling. It wasn't, unfortunately. I thought I had all this on footage. I want to leave it in the video. So this goes back and forth. The guy finally takes off. And the dude in the Lund, he goes, hey, man, I'm sorry you had to witness all that. I was like, hey, dude, craziness of boat ramps. Those 2 things go hand in hand. I was like, this guy is a dummy. He goes, and I'm not losing my mind because this is like his first time. He goes, I've seen him here several times doing the same shit. He knows better. And I was like, that's the worst part. And I was like, hey, good. I'm glad your rig was good. I told him I liked his rig, and then we took off. Benny chimes in. He goes, I could hear it from the porta potty, which was not exactly close to the ramp. It was like on the other side, the far end of the parking lot. Like these guys were yelling. One of them was yelling. The other guy was squealing. It was just fucking insane. So we take off again, and we decided to fish some submerged grass and some lilies that were right over by the ramp. I was like, we're here. Let's give it a shot. Right as we were taking off initially, we heard something in the water, like that. We heard some frogs, and then all of a sudden we didn't hear a frog. You know what I mean? It was one of those situations. And we saw the disruption in the grass, and I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So we know that they're feeding at least. That's good. So we fished over there, did our thing, and it didn't really turn up shit. I tried to launch the drone. I've been having some issues with the drone. I can connect the app with the controller. I'm wondering if there's like a firmware update or a reset I have to do. So I'm going to continue playing around with that. But yeah, I didn't get any drone footage, which sucks because I really wanted to send it up first thing and get that sunrise. That was just absolutely amazing. So we went and we fished this one ledge. We were looking around on avionics, and I was like, what should we do over here? So we found this one ledge that kind of went up against this steep bluff wall, and we go over there. We start fishing. I get hooked into a pike on a bladed jig on a Picasso shock blade. Hook into this pike, and it is just fucking losing its mind. It was right before the boat. It was the shittiest hook set. It was just like, it was like, oh, I'm reeling this bait back in, and then all of a sudden, it's fucking on. All of a sudden. And then it was fast as it was on. Binya, and Binya, to Binya's credit, Binya's one hell of a net man. One hell of a net man. He had no issues grabbing the net and getting that largemouth in the net, which was awesome. And then he had the net in the water ready to go for this pike, but the pike just made a turn and then came right off and then just out into the depths. So I was like, all right, whatever, no big. Binya hooks into a smallmouth on a lipless that he was throwing around along that ledge. We put that fish in the box, and then continued to fish up and down a little ways. Now I had a fish that had hit my bladed jig on the way back, and it hit the surface. Like somewhere there's footage. I think it's on one of Binya's body cams. You can see this fish come out, and I'm hoping I'm able to squeeze this in because it sucked. Like I was like, it was on, and then it hit the surface and just immediately shook off. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I didn't even really feel a bite. It was just like, holy shit, there's weight. Let's lean into it. And then it must have hit like just at the surface and then just decided to take flight. Missed this fish. Yeah, Benny is saying it's on the video I sent to you. Beautiful. I got to scrub all that stuff. I have a video like half done already. I'm so excited about this. So we fished until I think noon. It wasn't the greatest day. Initially, my thought was that we would fish until 11 and then just record a podcast segment on my phone and do that. And I said, you know what, man, let's push it till noon. Let's just push it till noon. I got a feeling we could probably get fit. Spoiler alert.
We didn't.
That was as good as it got. So before we decided to take the run back in, we had taken our picture with Mike and his smallie, me and the largemouth, and then we released those fish, Headed back in. It was absolutely awesome. So Mike, oh yeah, his video hits on the 31st. Okay, very nice, very nice. And it was really nice having another set of cameras on the boat, because there's footage of, you see me hook set into that largemouth, and then I immediately edit over to Mike grabbing the net and running over and then scooping this fish up. It is, I'll tell you, it was really, really nice kind of having that multiple camera play right there. So I'm really excited for how this video is going to turn out. We got off the water, went back to the room. My wife had indulged in some of the bounty that we brought with us for the concert. You know what I'm saying? So she was she was very relaxed when I got home. She took herself a nice long soak in the hot tub, was like, we should do some lunch. And I'm like, you're goddamn right. Right down the road from us, there was a spot called Hoagie Hut. Hoagie Hut, right on the sign, says Philadelphia style hoagies. They had their version of a steak and cheese, of a cheesesteak, excuse me. It was fine. It was fine. They did not have the roast pork and broccoli rabe like I was kind of hoping for. When I saw this spot when we pulled by, I was like, we're gonna have lunch there at some point. And I'm like, I have a feeling I know what's on the menu, and I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. It was fine. So we had kind of a late lunch, hung out for a little bit, and we decided what we would do is we were just gonna go out for dinner and go downtown that night. We decided we would leave a little bit early, maybe go grab a cup of coffee. Stopped in a spot called Onyx Coffee, and we had I had one of their cold brews. I forget the name of it, but it was out of this world. I like a cold brew, but I find there to be a lot of like funny interpretation with cold brews. A lot of times, sometimes people are just like, yeah, we kind of just made coffee, but with cold water. And other people are like, no, we steeped it for a specific amount of time.
Cold brew is dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous. It is fucking dangerous. This was out of this world. And then because it's my wife and I, we have matching tattoos of coffee cups. We got a second cup of coffee after walking around a little bit more. Popped into an outdoors supply store, and I was kind of hoping to find some fishing tackle there. I really was. I kind of wanted to see what's going on. No fishing stuff at all. Plenty of hiking gear, biking stuff. There was some paddling sports stuff. In fact, I even considered getting a recharge kit for my inflatable PFD. My inflatable had, I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but while it was stowed in the box, I was fishing with Eric Dowd, and we're in a shallow area, and he jumps overboard to cool off. He's like 95 degrees. And apparently when he was reboarding, some water got into that box, and I heard the explosion of it go, psh, and then it just all this like light green fabric material kind of, coming out of the storage box. I'm like, okay, I think I know what that was. So yeah, that was no good. Luckily, I have plenty of PFDs to keep everybody legal, so that was a good thing. What else did we do? Oh, so we made the decision. We're like, we had kind of a late lunch. Let's not do dinner per se. Let's do what we like to do best. Let's just go grab a couple of really, really good cocktails and a couple of little like light bites. Nothing crazy. Dudes, let me tell you, I feel like I belong in Burlington, Vermont. So much. First off, every single place that we went to, the soundtrack was amazing. It was just amazing. When I first went to visit Burlington in like the late 90s, it was a lot of like jam bands and all kinds of shit, and like, patchouli stank everywhere. It's a little bit of a different animal now. Like I go in and like
Birkenstocks.
Yeah, back then, yes. This is a little bit of a different animal now. I think that it's updated a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Do people still wear Birkenstocks?
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah, they do.
Did they wear them in Vermont?
They wear them a little bit everywhere. I see them all the time. All the time in Massachusetts. All the time.
I know Drew Gregory and Alex Rudd, I noticed.
They
wear Jesus sandals.
They do. They definitely do. So as does Paul from Bass and Brews.
Oh, okay.
The Jabberhammer is although his sandals are like tactical, like they're like super minimalist, ridiculous. I can't do that. I'm a Crocs guy. Yeah, I'm just living my best life. You know what I mean?
Flops, baby. Flops.
So I go and I head out to we hit up this bar. It's called Devil Takes a Holiday, is what it's called. We go into this bar, and it is like if my wife and I had created a bar, like all of the visual, just the vibe of the place, the look. The menu was out of this world. I had something called a calendar year. It's a tequila drink with some citrus notes and this like spicy like sea salt rim on the glass. Out of this fucking world. When I find a cocktail I really like, I stick with it for the night. My wife and I ordered a couple of small plates to share. Out of this world. The soundtrack in this place was amazing. Zach, you and I were kind of talking about some of these bands. I heard Built to Spill. I heard the Pixies. Nice. I heard the Flaming Lips. I was wearing my Flaming Lips hat in there. I heard Nick Cave. I mean, dude, so many different freaking groups that I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm like, this is great. So we finish up our drinks there. We walk around a little bit more. We're just like, let's go to the drive-in. So we head over to the drive-in. And I got to tell you guys something. My Forerunner is great for a lot of things. And I went prepared for the drive-in. First off, I went with a cooler stacked with Diet Cokes just for the crispness. You know what I mean? Ready to go. Cooler was loaded. I brought my Coleman camp table that folds up so that this way we could have a place to put any of our accoutrements or anything like that. Had the lift gate open. We got speakers overhead, right? All set. Shut the lights off over there. I even brought out my citronella lantern. I have this little like jug, right? That's got a big old wick in there. You fill this up full of citronella and let it go. They told us that we had to put it out because it was an open flame. I'm like, okay, fine. The bugs were actually pretty freaking terrible at the drive-in. They really were. They were pretty fucking bad. So we're sitting out there. Everything's cool. I got the folding chairs. I got the truck is on. Like as the movie starts, I put the truck in accessory. Here's my beef with the Forerunner, guys. I get about 10 minutes of that truck and accessory, and then it shuts off. So I have to go back over. Mine does that too. Yep. I don't know if it's because it's not a key and it's the push to start. If that's just
mine's a key and it still does it.
Oh, it still does it? You only get like 10 minutes? You have a Toyota or a Ford?
No, I got a Ford. It's a 2020 Ford.
Gotcha.
And it does the same freaking thing, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, so that sucks. Because in the past, we've always brought like a radio with batteries so that we can listen to the stuff there. And I'm like, why? That's stupid. So we're like, like I said, the bugs were really freaking bad. So I was like,
you just got to open and shut the door and it'll turn back on.
Yeah, well... No, I actually have to reach in and push the button to put it in accessory without hitting the brake. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like this combo. I was like, you son of a bitch. That's crazy. So I got to back up a little bit to the bar. When I was talking about the cocktail that I ordered, Binya chimes in. He goes, a spicy rim is an acquired taste. And then Michael Bradley says, spicy rim, isn't that a prison term? And then Binya confirms that, yes, it is. So we hit the the movie theater, and I say to my wife, I'm like, look, I can either fire up one of these little have you guys ever seen these like old school? They're almost like incense in a coil, and it's insect repellent. Yeah, they're old school. And I was like, I bought a 4-pack of them. I was like, I'll light one of these up. I go, before I do, right? Would you rather just have me flip the truck around so we're facing the screen and I run it? And then I'll have to probably restart it once. But I'm like, we run it with the AC. She's like, let's just do that. I said, okay, cool. Sounds good. So everything was good. We watched the movie. It was a great movie. Come back home. And then we go to, we sleep that night. Get up actually earlier than we had intended on, cleaned up the room, packed everything up that we needed. We had breakfast at a place called The Friendly Toast, which is a small chain. And this place was out of this world. I had this crazy omelet that was freaking fantastic. Their house-made bread for my toast. And I had a cocktail, which is their take on what they would call a Bloody Maria, which is basically like a Bloody Mary type cocktail, but with tequila because, Bobby roast beef. And it was out of this world, man. We just had a great time. It was a blast. Head back to the hotel, grab the boat, and then just hit the road. And we got back into town like about 1:00. It was really good. I told my wife, I was like, after the amount of money that I spent this weekend, I'm like, I need a fucking break. Like, we need to really fucking kind of dial it in, because like I said last week's episode while we're talking to Alex Rudd, we're going away for Christmas in the Smoky Mountains, and I'm like, that ain't going to be cheap, you know. So let's do some damage control now and reel this in. She's like, I think that is a fantastic idea. So it's pretty good stuff, man. It was a very, very fishy week for me. But you know, it's all good. It's all good.
Nice, dude. I'm super jealous about the Flaming Lips deal, man. That's a throwback, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I had no idea you were a fan, and I feel like
yeah, dude.
Flaming Lips fans need to connect.
Since 1992, like Clouds Taste Metallic, Hit to the Death in the Future Head, like yeah.
I really, you know, I always kind of appreciated them back then. Like one of my favorite songs from those early days is "Turn It On." Like one of my favorites.
Sure, man. Hell yeah.
It's when Soft Bulletin came out in '97 that it was like you can't define that group in terms of musical terms necessarily. So yeah, I mean, my week was pretty awesome. There is a video coming. It's going to be dropped this week sometime. So follow the Jigs and Bigs YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff, and we'll go ahead and take it from there. Zach, I know you've got to bounce at 7:45. So
I don't. I saved a little time. I bought a half hour, bro.
Oh, there you go. That's good. Why don't we go ahead?
Well, you guys are more important.
We know. Do we have any headlines this week, Joe, that we got to go through?
I do, but I can do them quick.
Let's go ahead. We'll bang them out now. And then actually, you know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break and we'll do the headlines, just the tip, and FTGs, and then we'll wrap the show up.
Let's do it.
I like that. Guys, we're going to take a short break. Don't go too far. I love being able to call producer audibles right from the seat. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
Don't go too far, guys. We got all kinds of great stuff to talk about. All the categories tonight. Just the tip. We got headlines coming after the break. We've got FTGs galore. John Hagen's, and we've got some in-house ones, and then we've got a little bit of tech talk too, a little bit of gear talk in our gear of the week. Don't go too far. Much more Jigs and Bigs coming up right after this.
Hey, whoever you are, Fact Fusion, go away.
Oh yeah, every time we put them on YouTube, we get a couple of them.
Oh, there's always. They just kind of flush. Go eat a spicy rim. What? Headline: Binya catches a smallmouth in a lake that doesn't have smallmouth. Yeah, I heard about that. All right, let's go ahead and do this. You guys need to take a break or anything? You want to jump right into the next segment?
Go for it.
I'm pretty good, man.
All right, cool. Then we're gonna start with headlines.
I'm mastering the mute button, so I can just mute and go get whatever I need whenever you guys are talking.
Dude, you are the man.
Instead of just opening my steak hoagie with tinfoil.
That was magic, dude. That was fucking magic. Dude, I will tell you, this steak hoagie was like the only way it could have been more Vermont is if they were like, and our maple aioli was used. Like it was the most Vermont steak and cheese I've ever had.
Is that a good thing?
It was steak. It was cheese. It was not.
Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders hands it to you. He's like, I got your steak and cheese for you, Mr. Roast Beef.
Once again, I am asking for your support with this steak hoagie.
You are supporting me with this sandwich.
Oh my god,
that's beautiful.
Jay Manning says a transitioning lake. Oh, fair enough. We've got FTGs all around. All right, we are rolling. We got fishy headlines. We are rolling in 3, 2.
All right, so we got a couple headlines here. One is going to be local from New England, and it doesn't have to do with so much fishing, but it kind of does. But it involves the largest mammal on the planet.
Oh, I thought it had something to do with clam chowder.
What is it, Zach? What's the largest mammal on the planet?
That would be a whale, a blue whale.
Yeah. So off the coast of New Hampshire over this past week, a humpback whale capsized a boat, launching 2 fishermen overboard. Did you guys see either one of you see the video?
I saw that video. I didn't realize that was in New Hampshire. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it was off in New Hampshire. Zach, you got to watch the video. But an experience they won't soon forget: 2 East Coast striper fishermen were nearly pancaked by a humpback whale. A nearby boater captured the video footage of the close call, which took place Tuesday off the coast of New Hampshire. The viral clip shows the massive whale breaching and landing on top of the boat, which sends the 2 fishermen flying overboard. It was literally, so you guys see those.
It landed on top of the boat?
Yes. So
that's freaking crazy.
So for those of you guys listening,
for sure.
Yeah. So for those of you guys listening and haven't seen this video, I know you've seen the videos of people with the blobs that they put on the lake and somebody jumps on it and then it launches you. This is literally what the whale did with this boat.
Exactly. Yeah.
So luckily, some good Samaritans who were nearby came to the rescue. They say neither angler was injured. They were also able to recover their capsized boat with the help of the U.S. Coast Guard and a local towboat service. As for the giant humpback, it's still alive and well and feasting on bait fish near the mouth of the Piscataqua River.
Wait. The boat didn't break.
No, it didn't break.
What brand is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think,
Dude,
honestly,
take a hit from a fucking blue whale.
I think it was a Boston whaler.
Oh, the irony.
I really do. You know what I mean? I think it was a Boston whaler, to tell you the truth. Binya asked a question here. He goes, did the whale have a GoPro? How did it get filmed? So the video that I saw, I think came from a camera positioned on probably like the
so those of you who've ever striped fished off the East Coast, wherever the stripers are, there's also 70 boats. So this guy just won the lottery boat. And he was the boat that the 3 whales were probably, or there's probably like multiple whales down the bottom looking up. They're like, dude, you won't do it. You won't do it. And he fucking went up there and fucking capsized, and he was a lucky winner. No, so when you fish, I mean, I've done it. When you fish these spots, you can, just from the video, you can see several boats. But as soon as a boat sees you fucking catch a fish, it's just, and all the fucking boats are there. So that I guarantee you.
There was a camera on a boat, and it was like facing the rear, and it just happened to catch it.
Yep. And I mean, if there's whales, there's always stripers and shit, because they're all pretty much, they're fishing on the plankton, the bait, or they're eating the plankton, the bait fish are eating the plankton, the striper eating the bait fish.
The bait fish.
Circle of life.
Yeah, exactly. So, let me see here. A main base fishing guide and the owner of Mag Charters, whatever his name is, was one of the boaters who helped pull out the 2 fishermen out of the ocean after a whale capsized their boat, called the Parker. He was joined by 2 young anglers, one of whom recorded the video on his phone. There were 4 or 5 other boats in the area, and all fishing for striped bass. And, they basically just talk about how crazy it was for another 10 paragraphs that we need to talk about. So, off the coast of New Hampshire, I mean, this has happened before. Usually you see it. I've seen it happen a lot, like videos I've seen. It's like the Pacific, the West and the Pacific and stuff. Just see it like happen here so close to home. It's kind of wild. You never know what craziness is going to happen out there. And kudos on the whale and kudos on Boston Whaler, if that's, what boat it is.
2 lessons learned.
That should
1, watch out for whales. Number 2, somebody's always filming you.
It's true. There's always a camera.
It's true.
So our next story. So if Nick's still in here, our favorite Canadian, Saint Nick, he's been sending me stories. He's like my new like field journalist. He's been like sending me these great stories. So here's the next one. Fish falls from the sky and shatters a Tesla windshield.
Shut up.
The unlucky
fish hate EVs.
Yep. The unlucky Tesla owner believes the fish was carried by a bird before dropping it on their EV. Jeff and Cynthia Levine live in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. It's close to the Nevasik River and Sandy Hook Bay, where countless fish live. It's from one of these water bodies that the Levines believe an eagle snatched up a fish before dropping it on their Tesla. The vehicle onboard cameras captured the falling fish as it hit and destroyed the windshield. The car started honking. It went crazy honking, which we had never heard. I didn't know how to turn it off, Cynthia said. I went out and he was in the yard somewhere. I went out and he was in the yard somewhere. He heard the crash and everything, but ignored it. This is terrible fucking explanation. We were like, holy crap, look at this. And I said to him, it looks like a fish scales and blood on the windshield. So how could something like this happen? The Levines blames a resident living on their own property. We also have eagle's nests in our backyard, so we think it was probably the eagle. It doesn't say what type of fish it was, but it absolutely destroyed their windshield. I mean,
so wait. Did they like say it was either an eagle or their neighbors?
No, so yeah, that's where like this comes from Car Scoops at some like car fucking blog website. Yeah. So the journalism isn't the best and the explanation isn't the best.
I'm envisioning the neighbor coming out and just beating the shit out of the windshield with a mackerel.
So so they're basically saying that they have eagles that live in their backyard and that's their neighbor. So
that's the neighbor. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it sounds like they found shit before, but yeah, dropped it. That eagle, yeah. Now you know what that eagle thinks of EVs. I feel you, dude. I feel you.
Quick little thing here. Down in Ocean City, it's a huge problem. Seagulls, they like to eat what's inside of shells, and to get inside of the shells, what they do is they grab these things, they fly up, and then they drop them on the concrete.
Yeah, to crack them.
Yeah.
No.
And cars and cars and cars and cars and cars all the time.
Oh yeah,
it's like one of the best places to go to get your windshield broken.
Nick chimes in and he goes, "A terrible explanation from New Jersey."
Go figure.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, thank you, Nick, for the story. Keep them coming if you see them, and I will keep letting everybody know. It helps me out, and I appreciate it.
Good old Saint Nick.
Michael Bradley chimes in. He goes, "Too bad it didn't have unbreakable glass like the truck."
Yeah. Well, we all saw that wasn't really unbreakable.
Yeah, that was
adorable.
Is what.
By the way, I finally saw one of those things, and it's fucking ugly in person.
I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? Bobby Roast Beef coming clean right here about this shit. As a guy who formerly drove a Pontiac Aztek, the Tesla truck is the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, is it the weird geometric nightmare thing?
Yes, yep. Yeah.
Dude, I saw one of those on the turnpike the other day on the way to work. Oh my God. No, it is
it's terrible.
It looks like Minecraft just passed you.
Yes.
Hey, Bobby.
100% it does. Yeah.
Fun fact about Pontiac Aztecs. There's still some out there for sale, brand new, because they never sold.
They never fucking sold. Yeah, it's true. It's true, man.
Get them at your nearest Big Lots.
Did you have the tent? Did you have the tent?
I never had the tent. I wish I did that and the cooler, because there was a cooler that came with it too. And I was like, son of a bitch.
I remember when those things first came out, a guy from work got one and he's like, check out this thing. It's got a tent. We're like, oh yeah, man, this thing's real cool.
Hey, it's just ahead of the curve.
Overlanding before overlanding was overlanding.
The only overlanding that thing can do is on fucking concrete, dude. I think that it probably couldn't get it through a dirt driveway.
No, it's true, man. Although I'll tell you what, man, it was great in the snow.
I believe it. That all-wheel drive, yeah.
Yep, but that was a big one.
So there's your headlines, boys.
Yeah, Binya. Tesla trucks run on flux capacitors for sure.
They do.
It's a DeLorean with just a little bit taller.
Dude, that story about the whale. I've seen that a number of times pop up, and I'm like, that's why I had no idea it was off the coast.
Yeah. So those of you that haven't seen the video, go on YouTube, whatever. Just look up, whale jumping on boat, and it's gonna a million of them it's gonna pop up, and it's actually wild. And the dude literally gets launched from the bow of this boat. It's fucking wild to watch.
It is. It's crazy,
nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Boston Weather, if you're listening, if you don't use this for
seriously,
it's a big deal, man. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and do this, because I'm really interested. We teased it early on, but now it's time for a little edumacation.
And perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or how John Shaw might feel.
Oh my God, this is good. This is so good.
So
yeah.
So I'm gonna give you guys a tip this week that I learned and I never knew, and unfortunately other people didn't know this and really caused themselves some havoc in the future. So we talked about my tournament this weekend, how they had a crazy, what I believe is the blue-green algae bloom, right, on this lake. And I mean, it's horrendous. It's all around the lake. It literally looks like antifreeze on the top of the water. So I mentioned that my electronics were not working the entire time in that tournament, right?
Yep.
So it turns out that your electronics will not work when you are in algae like that, because it actually acts as like almost like a filter on your electronics and blocks everything out, and none of your electronics will work. And so I'm talking so my live scope and my 360 were not working, to the point where I'm reaching out in the tournament, reaching out to Thayer's Marine like a fucking asshole, not realizing this. And yeah, so those of you who think you're going to be fishing a lake that has a blue-green algae bloom, and if your electronics aren't working, it's not your electronics. And where this kind of gets really shitty is I was able to discover what it was because I went into that South Pond through there, which is a very clean lake, and which is weird that it hasn't had any issue with this. It's like you go into a whole nother body of water. It's really wild with them being connected. But electronics were working fine. So I kind of like deductive reasoning. I had to put 2 and 2 together and realize that, it's the fucking algae that was causing my electronics to not work at all. So where this gets shitty is I get back to the ramp and everyone's being like, my fucking electronics didn't work. Like, everyone and everyone was like factory resetting, factory defaulting all their electronics. So
thinking that was the fix, and they're losing all their shit.
So losing all their settings and everything that. And so luckily I didn't do any of that. I was able to discover it once I went into the other lake there through the river. But
so the algae is actually like an EMP.
Seriously.
That's fucked up, dude.
They say it's and the problem is like it basically puts this crazy film on whether it's in the water column, it puts this crazy film onto your transducer. And there's no way of avoiding it. You can take it out and wipe it off, and as soon as you put it back in, it just you get that coating all over again. So the only thing that worked was my down imaging worked slightly, and my 2D sonar worked slightly, which I use neither one of them. On my boat, the way I have my boat is the 212s on the console. One is my mapping, the other one's side scan, and then I have the 360 and the live scope up front. So I was like old school, early 90s fucking fishing.
So basically,
like Bobby roast beef is what you were fishing like.
Yeah.
So basically, all you FFS like sky is falling people, dude, don't worry, nature will find a way.
Yeah, and they did. They did. It's true. And I just feel bad for all the dudes there that absolutely fucking are gonna have to spend so much time and man hours back out on the lake putting all their settings back to where they were because they factory defaulted thinking that it was their electronics.
The one question, the thing that kind of blows my mind is, like you said, you changed bodies of water, but it's not like you like loaded up out of one and then dropped in elsewhere where that layer of algae, like, I wonder where it was. I would assume somewhere in the river you probably lost it.
So it was I mean, you're familiar with this. So I'd say about 50 yards up towards Quabog, there's that turn. Coming out, it seemed like it all stopped at that turn. And the going down that stretch with that car top launch was completely clean. It just completely cleared up right there. And but it was just crazy.
Now I'm curious, did you notice a temp difference between Quabog and South?
Well, South usually runs a little bit cooler because it's spring fed. Yeah. So it's usually a few degrees down, but Quabog was a little bit cooler. than it had been, and I think it's
really?
because the water's just
algae?
not getting any light. Because of the because the algae. Literally, dude, it's like it's fucking gnarly. I wish I took videos from it, but dude, I have to I'm gonna have to reline a couple of my reels and shit because they got all caked up in that garbage. And so that's
John Hagen's dropping some news here. He goes, blue-green algae also generates electricity through photosynthesis. They're working on to create batteries using blue-green algae. No shit. And then Michael Bradley here with, I think, the comment of the day. Randy Blockett sponsoring the Save the Blue Algae project. Man, I'll tell you what.
Boys, I'm not even kidding you. On the way into work today, I was listening to a program on the radio talking about how plants do not have any kind of neurons, therefore they don't have any kind of thought process, no brains, anything like that. However, through electric signals, they are able to recognize and do things. So yeah, that's kind of freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, it really is, dude.
Fucking science, dude.
You know what I mean?
so the moral of the story is include that into your what's that term I'm looking for? Like when you're trying to figure out what's going on with your electronics.
Troubleshooting?
Yeah, when you're trying to troubleshoot. I never would have thunk it. I didn't know that. Of course. It's not something that, and again, there's only I think 3 of us that went into that other pond. So yeah, it's that you cannot, if you have a bad blue-green algae bloom, don't plan on using electronics. They will not work.
Also, transducer wipers patent pending.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be a good move right there.
I want to see those in the next Dark Horse box.
That would be a featured small business. We can't put that shit in the box.
Little
you can be the featured. All right, fine. I'll be the featured small business. I'm going to patent it right now. Yeah. I'm about as fucking mechanical as a wet mop, dude. I won't be designing shit.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine, dude, that so I think the real tip here is don't factory reset your shit until oh my God. Could you just imagine if you had a shit ton of waypoints and you had a shit ton of data that you saved on this, that maybe what if you didn't have a chip? Because that's the thing, you factory reset. If it's all saved on the chip, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that don't roll with that shit because they never.
People usually don't save their waypoints on the chip unless they're getting rid of their electronics or something.
Dude, imagine if you were a rookie on the Bassmaster Elites. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
It's crazy because I realized that and this is a fun fact as well, and I realized this the hard way. I use Lake Master mapping, through an SD card. That's through Humminbird. I think it's an elite fucking mapping software. I realized that I knew it, but I didn't think of it. So the SD card is the overlay, the mapping overlay.
Yeah,
but your unit has the waypoints.
Has the waypoint, yeah.
And I realized that when I got rid of the Skeeter and didn't have my waypoints. So that one spot on that lake that Bobby knows I love, that's in a little bit deeper water, I do not have that waypoint because the marker is no longer there. So I think
you can't just find it.
Yeah.
You can get close, right?
Yeah, so I can get close, but dude, all my electronics I would have used to be okay, here's where it is, did not work. So
but it's not on the St. Lawrence, right?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No, I
give a shit.
I didn't have my boat. Remember, it was broken. So
when you guys fish that tournament in October, you're going to be going green right up there.
Yeah,
more than just the color of that icon.
Yeah, that's why I'm going up a few days early and making it a fucking thing.
Idea. Oh, dude, I will be there for every pre-fishing day. I can't wait, dude.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm wondering if that shit moves out. I don't know.
Come on, Bobby. Man. You got to get the Lund up there and you got to fish it, dude.
We got some events coming. This in October might be kind of nuts. It might be.
Yeah.
I got weddings that kick up September and October are like the only real months where I'm busy with like wedding events and stuff.
Yeah.
I got some other wedding related events coming up in August, but yeah, September and October get pretty crazy. I got one weekend where I got 2 weddings back to back. So it's gonna be a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fucking interesting, dudes. Dude, that's wild for a tip. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and shift gears because it's time. We got to get to it. Alrighty, guys. So we got a couple of submissions, and both of them have like 2-parters. One of those is live, and Zach's going to share his FTG. But I want to go and I want to play the messages that we got from John Hagens earlier this week. And we kind of had mentioned some of this stuff in last week's show, but now let's go ahead and dive in and see what John has to say regarding his woes.
Hey guys, this is John Hagens. I wanted to call in a FTG this week. I had a pretty effed up weekend in that category. I know Bobby and I have talked about me purchasing a kayak very soon, and I decided to push the go button this weekend. So I went on Cabela's. They had pretty much it was just a package with the Ascend 133X that came with a motor and everything and a few other extras. I went ahead and pushed go on that and paid for the shipping and everything. And I knew it would have to be delivered freight. So I went ahead and submitted the order. And not even an hour later, I expected to get a message back. I did receive a message from customer service. They would just wanted to switch the 2-day shipping to, freight shipping because it was a larger kayak and you can't just throw it in a small truck and send it. So I was cool. I already knew that was going to happen. I set up the delivery to have it delivered to my house at curbside, and I would meet them out there to move it to my garage. So I was geeked. Everything was set up and ready to go, and I just was excited all day Saturday. I went to bed and woke up Sunday morning, and I had a message in my inbox that said my order was canceled due to the fact that one or more items that were on the order were not available. The item that was missing was actually the motor for the kayak. So instead of them putting my order on a back order until everything was available, they never reached out. They never called. They just decided, hey, fuck this guy. We're going to cancel it. So I was pretty miffed at that. And so my FTG this week is for Cabela's customer service. Now, will I still go to Cabela's? Yeah. They tend to have a lot of cool shit that most people like or want or need. But when I am in there, I am definitely going to be giving anybody in a Cabela's uniform a side eye. Except for the guys at the gun rack. They're pretty cool. But it turned into a 2-parter. So I listened to the live broadcast last Sunday and decided, since we were all talking fishy shit, I guess, I was going to go out and try to catch some bait at the local lake and go do some catfishing. So I pulled up at one of the boat launches at Buck. And this is John Hagens again. With my second FTG, I got cut off on the last call. But anyways, I listened to the live broadcast and decided to go out fishing Sunday and get some bait to go catfishing. And I went to Buckeye Lake to fish one of the canals near the one of the boat launches in one of the closer parks to my house. And when I got there, it was dark. It was a little after 9 or so. And when I got there, 3 truckloads of older teenagers pulled up, and they parked in the the trailer parking area, and they were just being loud as shit and carrying on. They weren't there to fish or anything, so I guess they were just doing what teenagers do on a Sunday night when there's no school anyways. But while they were carrying on, one of the guys who owned one of the trucks, I guess his girlfriend wanted to make a drink run to one of the stores and wanted to use the boyfriend's truck to go get it. And they were parked next to a truck with a trailer. And when the girl pulled out, she did not pull out and turn. She just turned and smashed into the guy next to her trailer and broke some lights and bent some rails on the back of the trailer. Clearly, there was no boat attached, so somebody was out night fishing. The boyfriend was pretty upset. He told the girl just to go get her stuff and hurry up and come back. He was going to wait to see if the guys came back in their boat. Meanwhile, his friends were over making jokes, and one of them actually said, "Hey, you want me to hit the other side of the trailer too to make it match?" Kind of a dickhead thing to say, but I get it. It's kids. But the girlfriend came back and they stayed and waited. Once the boat returned, the guy who owned the truck decided to go over and fess up to the truck owner, who seemed to be pretty cool about it. And the kid had gave him his insurance information and everything to make sure the trailer got fixed and paid for. So the FTG for this is the girl that drove the truck. Not only did you just have to have your boyfriend pay a deductible for his insurance, but you messed up the side of his truck and you crushed somebody's trailer because you needed a soda. So with that being said, fuck that chick. Sorry about the 2 calls. Have a good one. See you on the next show.
John, no apologies needed, man. That is shitty.
FTC.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, man. Trailer shenanigans are some of my favorite. Like, I just feel like they're relatable, you know? And I knew that was going to go downhill quick when he was like, "Oh, 3 carloads of, older teenagers rolled in the trailer spots." I was like, "You motherfucker." As far as the Cabela's thing, so John had messaged me earlier. It was like, "Dude, you're never going to guess what happened." And that sucks, dude. Like, it's bullshit that they just straight up canceled the order. They really I would have one of 2 things. Like you said, put the whole thing on back order till they have the stuff and just ship it. Because, like, you made the purchase, you're in line. You know what I mean? Like, you did everything that you need to do, like have like whatever, or refund the motor and then ship everything else in. You know,
I have a suggestion.
What's that suggestion?
How to avoid Mr. Hagen's issue. Use a small business outdoors provider. Yeah. You will not have that happen to you. They will take care of you 99.999 times out of 100. They will go out of their way to do whatever it is you need them to do. So that's my suggestion for that situation. The small business people, they got to fight for every little scrap they get. So they're going to take care of you. So yeah, that's my suggestion.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I agree. But it's like, it's one of those things with in that big retailer space. I don't think there's anybody that's necessarily surprised. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a challenge. I'm not sure what like the kayak outfitters market is like in Ohio necessarily.
I know a whole bunch of them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. That's good. That's
there's Cuyahoga Falls Outdoors, Loveland Kayak and Canoe. I know more, but
there we go. And look at this. John Higgins chimes in. He goes, "That's the next move. Raccoon Creek Outfitters."
Yeah, Raccoon Creek. That's another one.
Yep.
We actually Josh and I got our Crescent Shoalies from a place in Cuyahoga Falls.
Yep.
And badass dude. Like, the guy took care of us. He stayed open because we weren't going to get there in time. Like, like they take care of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. You might pay a couple more bucks, but in the end, it's usually way more than worth it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, man. Oh yeah, Raccoon Creek big with New Canoe. New Canoe's got some good shit this year. 2024 for New Canoe is pretty good. They got that U10, and I believe I might be talking out of my ass, but I think there's a U12 in the works. Which is, I mean, that's like a barge. You know, you can do so much with that.
I love the great big freaking lake kayaks coming out. Like I don't know what else to call them. They're like lake kayaks. Like they're giant. And I freaking love it. Like, let's do it. Go for it, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, it's that's kind of crazy. Now we do have 2 more FTGs here that are from Zach. So why don't you? The floor is yours, dude. Chime in. What are your FTGs this week?
It's actually only one FTG. I just called in twice because I wasn't done on my soapbox when I hung up the first time. So I've been rebuilding a turbine out in West Pittsburgh for the last since spring, and it sits right on the Beaver River. Since I've started working there, I've floated the Beaver River twice. I caught my first muskie there. And Josh and I have done it, and then myself and Brian from Dockmaster Baits has floated it, and we all say the same thing, dude. There's like no trash. Like the river's clean.
That's really
you know
good.
What I mean?
Yeah.
And I want y'all to keep something in mind. This is the heart of the Rust Belt. This is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
50 years ago, a lot of our creeks and small rivers were like orange, man. Like we've come a long way, and a lot of people have been working very, very, very hard to like catfish and carp was the only thing you could catch for the longest time. Like that was it. And now we've actually got a really good, healthy population of smallmouth bass. But today I'm at work, and oftentimes I go out and when I get a break, and I just go, stare at the river because it's right there. And sometime between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m., a group of people floated past the plant there. They're one of their rafts popped. There were 6 of them, 2 guys, 4 girls.
Okay.
And it's
good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, good ratio. But one of their rafts deflated, popped, whatever. And so they made their way over to the shore, and they were hammered, each and every last one of them. Dude, they left all of the trash that they had, along with deflated raft, right on the shore, and just kept on going.
Jesus,
like, come on,
fucking Christ!
Like, come on,
assholes, dude.
Like, we have worked very, very, very hard to like make this shit better.
Yep.
And you've got the audacity to enjoy to enjoy this thing, but you don't have the balls to take care of it, or the manners to take care of it, whatever you want to say. Like, fuck those people. And actually, even more to the point, you don't think a power plant has cameras? Y'all are fucked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hope so. Yeah, I hope it comes back to bite them.
I saw it.
Good.
Perfect, man. Yeah, I hope that it comes back to.
Yeah, so we called. There's actually a rifle range. Crazy mixture of things to be. Rifle range and a power plant, but they are only in Pittsburgh. But we actually called the rifle range, and yeah. So whoever you 6 people were, I can't wait to see what happens to you guys, because fuck you guys.
Yeah, that's shitty. Yeah, I mean, and I think the big thing is right there is that you said it. They were hammered. You know what I mean? That's the worst offender right there. Yeah, because your ability to give a shit about being responsible in nature goes immediately out the window.
Yep.
It just sounds like a great idea to fucking
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Kind of.
If they were sober, I think there's a better chance that they would have not fucked around.
But you know what? I bet you these people are assholes anyways.
Oh, I'm sure that they are. Yeah.
Who does that, man?
Probably
who
drive
does
Tesla
that?
pickups, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
Like who does that? Who does that? Anyways.
Yeah. That's ridiculous, dude. Fuck those guys.
Fuck
that's
those 2 guys and 4 chicks, even though you had a good ratio.
Yeah, we had good fucking tongue-in-cheek fucking comedy going through the chat right here. From Binya, Michael Bradley, Saint Nick. There was John Hagen's got in there a little bit asking if there was a cup involved, you know.
I actually sent you guys a picture of said trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
I wasn't even really sure what it was.
Yeah, well, when you sent it, I was like, and then you start explaining it. I'm like, that makes so much sense. I might actually use that as the fucking artwork for this show.
There you go.
I think I'm going to use that.
You are welcome to do so, sir.
Yeah. That is shitty. Humans are gross. John Hagen's fucking nails it.
Hey, Bobby.
Yep.
Joe. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for having me on. But I do have to split. I am half past the monkey's ass and more than late.
I hear you, baby. She's all good.
See you, homie.
Dude, it was great having you on. You have a great night, all right?
You too. Thank you, Jason Biggs audience. Love all of you.
See ya.
Zach. Man, what a fucking wild ass show. Wild ass fucking show. Why don't we do this? We're gonna go ahead and I think Zach had mentioned he had something for Gear of the Week. I'm gonna have him put a pin in that, and then we'll come back to it for another show. I think that's a good idea. What a fucking fantastic program this week.
It was.
You know, and I like these where we just kind of talk. We do a lot of reviewing. We talk about a couple of good FTGs out there, some storytelling. That's really like what this shit is all about. What do you have on the docket, Joe, as far as getting out in the next like week or two for events?
Yeah, so I got a tourney this upcoming Saturday that I'm probably not gonna pre-fish for, and I fucking hate the body of water. So we'll see. And then I was hoping to get to Candlewood this weekend as well.
There you go.
I might, if for some reason I don't fish a tournament, I might, just focus on Candlewood, meet Kevin down there.
There you go.
And then, I'm going to try to get into the Wednesday this evening. Hopefully, nothing else crazy comes up with work, and it's about it, man. It's about it.
So I've got my week as far as fishy stuff is going to be kind of interesting. I'm going to try to squeeze in as many weekday outings as I can.
Yep.
I'm probably going to plan a trip with my dad again this week.
Awesome.
And then I think so. This weekend is weird. I'm going to see Metallica with my youngest daughter and Paul. We're going to see both shows. We got the double ticket, so we're going to see them the first night with like Pantera, and then the next night I forget who's even opening. But we're going to go and have a good time. And in the middle, I actually have a J&J that I am I'm working on that Saturday. So my plan for this coming weekend is Paul is going to take the entire day off. He has like 2 or 3 weeks of vacation left, and July's almost over.
Yeah.
He's like, so I got to use this time up. He's like, I'm going to take Friday off. I think we're going to send it nice and early on Friday, he and I. Not sure where we're going to go. I'm not 100% sure on where it is that we're going to go, but we're going to send it. Saturday, I'm probably not going to fish. I might fish early on Sunday, though, depending on how late the J&J goes, because J&Js are like, I'm doing trivia at this one. I have a couple other things going, so it'd be pretty cool. We have what else? And then as we get into next week, there's the whole Susquehanna event happening with the Kayak Adventure Series. So I got to plan that. I just got a message from Delirious. He's like, I could definitely go, but I can't stay out there he's like, I won't be able to pull an overnight because he's on pet duty for his house. So I'm like, I totally understand that, man. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Susquehanna. It's basically going to end up being one of two things. I'm going to go down for the 2 days if I can find somebody to camp and go and fish with and just, whatever. If I can't, I'm just going to roll down on Saturday morning. Do the event and then roll back up. But I got to try to figure out the overall plan and get back to What the fuck? I'm having a fucking brain fart. I got to get back to Drew about what's going on.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Michael Bradley asks, he goes, is Pantera the original lineup minus Dimebag, of course? Minus Dimebag and Vinny. It's I believe it's Charlie Benante on drums, and I think Zach Wilde is playing guitar. I've seen some videos from when they first started with that lineup on that tour, and it was awesome. Like, it wasn't Dime, but it was awesome. It was really good. So it'll be interesting to see it. Nick says the Suski's just too far for me to make it, but it's definitely worth going if you're anywhere close by. Yeah, for sure. It definitely is. Yeah. And I might, I got a couple other people I'm going to hit up too and see what we can put together. It all gets down to like what's available, like for camping and all that stuff, because none of that stuff is set up. So I'm kind of I'm hoping that Drew can kind of point me in a direction, but I gotta have sort of an idea. It's just that I would take my kayak. I really would. I'd love to take my kayak, and even if I didn't enter the tournament, just get out with it. The problem is that I've got to lug all my camping gear and I've got to lug all my trivia gear.
Sure.
And like shit like the television and things like that. And I got that's one of the things I have to do this week is actually write a really good. And we're doing a shorter game. Like, it's only going to be like a 20 to 30 question game. It's not going to be anything super crazy. Probably do a little challenge in there. Probably not going to make anybody do Drinko at the Kayak Adventure Series. I have another challenge in mind that I think will work out much better. But yeah, should be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy ass freaking August. It really is.
Yeah.
Speaking of August, the August signups for the multi-species scavenger hunt are available. Registration is open right now. And as far as July goes, I have a bunch of fish that I have to go and judge. I'll tell you what, this is the only month where every single angler has entered fish. We only have eight anglers competing in July, but every single angler is in there. And your boy Bobby Roast Beef is in second place right now with 8 points. And I'm going to do the top 8 just to let everybody know like who's where. Cheryl Bentley in 8th place right there with 3 points. Sam Cruz, the third, tied at 3 points. Stephen Galloway's got 5. Eric Graves has 5 points in 5th place. Chrissy Radwilowitz is in 4th at 6 points. Jesse Byram. Jesse Byram's got 7 points right now in 3rd place. Myself, I'm in 2nd with 8 points. And then Tim Behan has a nice solid 10 right now. Awesome. In 1st place. So yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome. But August is wide open. You guys can go and register for it. I'll be registering for that one this week. Slot tourney. Oh yeah, Metal Jones chimes in. He was like, slot tourney for September. Slot tourney for September is going to be bumped to October. It's going to be a breast cancer research fundraiser, and it's going to line up. It's going to be happening the weekend of Columbus Day weekend. That weekend there is when we're going to do the slot tourney. That's the plan as far as all that stuff goes. Jones says, I'm coming for you, Brody. It's going to be a good one. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm freaking stoked, and we got ourselves some good stuff. John Hagen says, I'm still the only one for August. Well, dude, technically you win so far.
Yep, that's
you know what I mean? I mean, that's exactly it. You win. So that's so far that's good. We'll see what happens, but I'll be registering for August. I have a feeling August, September, October, all of those are all set up, and I've already reached out to Fishing Chaos to tweak the leaderboards, so everything should be ready to go for the rest of the year. I've learned my lesson this year. I am not delaying the entering of all of these months of tournaments and only doing 2 or 3 at a time. Next, probably December or January, I'm going to be setting up the entire year and setting up automated promotions for it. We're going big next year. We're going big next year for the multi-species scavenger hunt. So it's going to be good stuff. You're going to see some rule changes. I am loosening up the rule on the measuring boards. I'm going to open that up so that, hey, you have a hog trough, fantastic. But I'm also going to add in there that if the tournament director smells any bullshittery, any fish can be withdrawn. End of conversation. So we're going to open it up so people are like,
but Robbie, I don't want to have to use a catchboard, even though that catchboard is used basically as the authorized fucking device for every single fucking tournament that's on this platform. I just don't want to buy it.
You guys won't have to buy it. You'll be able to do whatever. But if I feel like there's any bullshit, bye. And that's it. And no arguments. This is gonna be fucking good. You got anything you want to wrap up with, Joe? Anything? Any shout outs? Anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I'm just yeah, check your fucking lakes for blue green algae.
Blue green algae, yeah.
Before you fucking reset all your shit. But no, man, good show. I got nothing.
In 2025, John, yes, you will be able to bring your musky bumper back. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. You know, there's only so many fish that people are catching of that size, and I'm like, if that's what's keeping you from doing this,
sure,
let me help. You know what I mean? This is just supposed to be fun. It's not a crazy psycho tournament or anything like that. It's like if that's the thing, that's the issue. Like, let's get more people doing it. Because this year I was really hoping to have months where we're gonna have 100 people. Competing. That's what I was really hoping for, and I'm hoping that we can get there. So we'll see.
We'll get there. We'll just advertise the shit out of it. That's all.
That's exactly, and that's what I figured. This winter will be really good because I want to pre-do a lot of this so that it's all set and we can really go like fucking balls to the wall. And like, I'd like to utilize our appearance at any of the expos that we're doing in early 2025. To really push for like, here's the scavenger hunt series. You guys are crazy if you're not doing that. You know,
agreed.
I think the only rule for a measuring board is that it's got to have a vertical edge, like no measuring tapes. There's got to be a vertical edge there, and it's got to make contact. I don't care if the mouth is open or anything like that. We'll measure it because again, it doesn't come down to inches that way. I like the catch board for smaller fish, though. I like the catch board in general because you don't have to write any of the numbers on or anything like that. It's just a good, solid, rigid board that you don't have to worry about. But I'm thinking for that. Now, for the slot tournament, you will need a catch board because those rules are modeled over something very specific. And because we're counting inches, there's no bullshit there. So that's going to be exclusive. That will be an exclusive one. So you might still want to buy a catch board, but you know, that's what we'll do. And we only do 2 slot tournaments a year. So if we ended up doing that like monthly, you know, who knows if that's going to change. But again, fish could be challenged left and right. It could be crazy. I love it. Good, solid, rigid board. God, Binya, has Binya been drinking the sauce tonight? He has. I feel like he's finding innuendo in the world in the worst places. Good, solid, rigid board and
spicy rims.
It's all good, Binya. I had a good time with you, Binya. This weekend was really good. We're going to go ahead and wrap this sucker up, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show. We appreciate you guys. Remember, we got all kinds of good stuff available for you at jigsandbigs.com. The store is there. We've got all kinds of great stuff. By the way, when we mention the store, if you want to get a Jigs and Bigs sticker, you can get a sticker in 3 different sizes. You can select the size that you want. You can order your stickers now right from the website. They're pretty good quality, too. We are still going to be doing like giveaways and stuff for them, but we're slowing down how often we're carrying those because we're really not going through them this much. But I want to make it easy for you guys if you want one, wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world, to be able to go ahead and rock a little Jigs and Bigs, either on your tailgate, on your cooler, on your kayak, on your boat, on your mom, whatever it is. You know,
I do have some on the boat too, so if you see me out there and you want a sticker,
fucking know. Yeah, absolutely. If we have stickers, you can always bump into us. But I mean, you know, if you're out there in Kentucky listening to the show and you're not going to cross paths with us, it's a great opportunity for you to go ahead and get them. Some new merch has been dropped. We got some more good stuff coming up in the next couple of months as far as different merch ideas. Some good hoodies, I think, that we're going to be putting out there. And there is rumblings that there's going to be a collaboration with a specific apparel brand that we love.
Hell yeah.
And Hoodlums. So we're working on that as well. That would be fucking awesome. I'm stoked. You guys have a great one. Remember, please, if you're out there catching any fish and you're posting pictures or videos or reels or you're making content at all, tag Jigs and Bigs in it. We want to go and support you guys, and we'll give you a like, a follow. We'll leave some comments. We'll share your stuff on our platforms. We're here to support you guys because you guys are so freaking amazing and you support us, and that means a whole lot to us. So we will see you guys next week with more Jigs and Bigs goodness. Joe, you got anything you want to throw in before we wrap this fucker up?
That's it, man. See you guys next week.
I'm going to go ahead and grab another crisp one and crack that son of a bitch. Diet Coke. Remember, we got a thing. Let's talk. Let's talk. Like we always say,
tits and ass, smoke some grass.
and that's how it's done.
Sweet.
Podcast.
Eat some food.
Go eat some food. I got to do the same freaking thing. I love it.
All right, homie.
All right, dude. I will see you
next time.
Absolutely, man. Jigheads, thank you guys so much. You guys are the greatest. I'm going to end the stream right here, and you guys can enjoy it, watch it back again, and read through the hilarity that is the chat.